everyone. Welcome to Lives Worth Telling. I'm your host, Jodes, and my podcast is about digging deep into people's stories and providing them with a platform to share their life and their experiences with my listeners. One of the key reasons in creating this podcast is so their families and friends can have a record of their life, their stories, and their voice forever. One of my favourite things is hearing about people's stories, their triumphs, their hardships, but most of all, I love hearing about their resilience. I really hope you enjoy listening to my guests share their lives with you. I want you to have a few laughs and allow yourself to be immersed in their stories. Welcome to episode 2 of season 4 of Lives Worth Telling. Since our last episode, we have had a whole bunch of new listeners come on board, including Petal in Mississippi, Las Vegas in Nevada, Torquay in the UK, Mapogu in Seoul, Smithtown in New York, St. Paul in Minnesota, Gilbert in Arizona, Tokyo and Hong Kong, Secaucus in New Jersey, Cannon Country in California, Eureka in Illinois, Piscataway in New Jersey, Council Bluff in Iowa, Jackson in Mississippi, Chatsworth in New Jersey, Clifton in New Jersey, Hoffman in New Jersey, Paris in California, Henderson, Tennessee, Miami, Florida, Sebastopol in California, and Santa Clara also in California. So in today's episode, we meet the very funny Catherine. Catherine grew up in Melbourne with her family. She shares lots of funny stories from her childhood, but she also shares with us the incredible challenges she had when she began her teaching career. She acknowledges how difficult it became for her and a huge level of burnout she experienced. She is also the founder and creator of Kitty Candy Creations. She creates beautiful handmade gifts and ships her items across Australia. She crochets and knits many gorgeous toys and creates baby gifts too. So, settle in for a wonderfully engaging story with Catherine. Enjoy. Oh my goodness. My guest today, I have known her since, we went to primary school together. And I have kept an eye on her socials, and she is a busy little bee, got lots of projects on the go. And I reached out to her and she said, yes, I'm going to say welcome to you, Catherine.
Thank you. And I have to say, I think you're scraping the barrel inviting me here.
We've got down to there's just no one left, you reckon?
I think so, yes.
Good on you. Good on you. So we're going to kick off with background and childhood. So tell me about your family, your parents, your siblings, and over to you.
Okay, so I grew up in what was Mulgrave.
Yes.
But is now Wheelers Hill.
Yes.
So, yeah, over near the Brandon Park area. And, yes, we went to Brandon Park Primary School, and I think we've worked out we were in prep. Was it prep together?
Yes, straight up.
Yes, prep.
1978.
Yes, it would have been 1978, yes. And so I was 4 when I started school, so I didn't turn 5 till May. So I was very little, yes. So I'm probably a year younger than you.
Yes.
Even though we were in school at the same time.
Yeah, right.
I was one of the really young ones. My older brother was already at the school. He was 2 years older than me.
I didn't realise that you had an older brother.
Yeah. So he was very quiet and shy, so you wouldn't have noticed him.
Yes.
I have a younger sister, but she's 8 years younger. So she started primary school after I'd finished primary school.
I was going to say, so you didn't cross paths then?
And it wasn't even at the same school. So she went to Waverley Meadows Primary because by then we'd moved from the Mulgrave house to a house in what was Wheelers Hill then. But now, of course, both houses were Wheelers Hill.
Oh, so you moved house in between?
Yeah, so we moved over the other side of Gels Road in the newer part of Wheelers Hill.
Yes.
Yeah, so I started year 7 over there. We moved, I think it was the end of year 6, like in December? I think it was December.
Yeah,
no, close to Christmas.
Yeah.
So I've got mum and a dad. They're both still alive.
Yes.
They're still in their 70s.
Yes.
And I'm now married with 2 kids of my own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Complete the bundle.
Yeah.
So you were born in Melbourne?
Yes. Yeah.
And one of my questions I always like to ask is, what were your chores as a child? Because it can vary depending on the era that people are from. What were your chores as a child?
Gosh, you're testing my memory. We're talking 52 years ago. Oh, less than that. I know I had to set the table.
Oh, yes.
And it was always, Catherine, come and set the table in a minute now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I don't remember having any other chores apart from, cleaning up your mess, your toys and stuff.
Yeah.
But speaking of my mum yelling out, it just reminded me of something. This will give you a laugh. So where we lived, we were on the corner of a court.
Yes.
So we'd go out and, just play with all the kids in the court, riding your bike, around on the road, everything. You just go out on your own. The parents didn't know where you were, sort of thing. It was fine. They knew we were nearby. When it was dinner time, the whole neighbourhood would hear that it was my dinner time because my mum, I don't know where she got this from. I think it was a souvenir from somewhere, but it was an actual bullhorn.
Oh, for God's sake.
It was painted up and polished and, nice and pretty and everything, and it hung as a decoration, but she'd take it off the wall. She'd stick her head out the back door and go, burn!
Oh,
the whole
goodness
neighbourhood.
sake.
And I'd hear it, and you would have to, I have to go to dinner now.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, she just
I thought you were going to say she yells your name.
No, she blew a cow horn.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that I've never heard of. Imagine if people did that now.
I know. It's ridiculous.
The kids probably wouldn't listen. So dishes and things like that? No.
We had a dishwasher pretty early. I remember we had one. It wasn't built in, so it was like a standalone one. I think I remember my dad was a real handyman. He was a civil engineer, so he could build stuff. So I remember in our kitchen where we had all the 70s orange and yellow curtains and the mission brown cupboards and stuff.
Yes.
Dad built an extra bit of bench space. It was somehow attached to the existing bench and it didn't even match. It was, I think the existing bench might have been yellow, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
The top of it, like the laminate. This thing that he built was white with a bit of like I'm trying to remember here. I'm picturing maybe either black or silvery speckled in it. And I think it could swivel off the – so it must have been maybe. This is how I'm picturing it. I'm not sure if I'm right or not. Anyway, it stuck out from the bench and there was maybe one silver, like a chrome kind of leg on it. And I think the dishwasher went under there, but gosh, where did all the pipes and cords and stuff go? I don't even remember. But
dishwasher?
Yeah, we had to – but funny thing was though, my brother then decided he wanted to make a dishwasher, right? So out the backyard, he builds a dishwasher. Now, I don't know what it was made out of. It could have been cardboard. I'm not sure.
Quality item.
Yeah. But anyway, so he and I, and because my sister probably wasn't yet born, or if she was a baby, he and I went in the backyard and we'd have picnics and we'd take out the plastic plates and bowls and forks and spoons and stuff and have picnics in the backyard. And then we'd load up his pretend dishwasher and he'd stick the hose in it, turn the hose on, and that was our dishwasher. But the funny thing was he couldn't understand why Mum wouldn't let him have it inside.
What a mean mum.
I know.
Oh, my gosh.
So yeah, no, I don't remember having to wash dishes except when we went every year in the January school holidays, we'd go down in our camper van. We had a camper van, not a caravan, a camper van. And we'd go down to Port Arlington and camp for 2 weeks and we'd take the tent and that. And so I used to help wash the dishes in the camper van.
Oh, yes.
I think actually I probably did the drying. I wasn't allowed because the water was hot or whatever, but it had its own little sink and it had a tank inside it. What did you press? You had to press something. It was like a pump thing to get the water so the water would come out of the tap.
Yes.
Yes. And it'd take ages filling the sink up and you'd have the kettle and you're putting the boiling water in there. Yeah. So I did that. But yeah, no, I think my chores were mostly just setting the table. I think I got off pretty lightly.
How old were you when your sister was born? So that would have been pretty.
Well, she was born in February and my birthday's in May. So when she was born, I was 7. So just a few months after she was born, I turned 8. So I say there's 8 years between us, but it's probably a bit closer to 7.
Were you excited about having a baby sister?
Can't remember. It's such a long time ago.
Yeah.
But what I do remember is when we had the Ash Wednesday bushfires and we had a really bad dust storm. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
I think we were in grade 5.
Yes, I remember being on the oval.
Yeah. So if we were in grade 5, that was 83. Okay, so my sister was 2 years old. So I remember that particular day we had this CRT. So our teacher was away. So we had our CRT. Oh, she was this awful woman. I know she was a smoker because you could smell it on her, but she was so – look, I don't know how old she was, but to me she looked so haggard. She was this hag, you know. And she was telling us – so I would have been 7.
Mm-hmm.
She was telling us – hang on, I can't have been – no, sorry, 9. I would have been 9.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I can't have been 7 in grade 5. No, 7 when my sister was born, 9 when she was in grade 5.
Okay.
When I was in grade 5, 9. She was telling us, because there was all the dust storm and you could smell the smoke, she said to us, the fires are coming.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, when you're 9 years old, you take that literally, right?
That's right.
So I had to walk home from school.
Mm-hmm. As we all did.
Walking home by myself because my brother's in year 7 at that time, so he's at the high school. So I'm walking home by myself and it's only about 1.5 k's or something, not very far. And it's getting thicker and thicker. The smoke, the dust, I'm like at a 45-degree angle pushing against this, and I'm thinking all I could think of was I'm going to come home and find my little sister and my mum dead. They're going to be dead.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's what I remember about the early years with when my sister was little, but I can't remember much else.
And what did you do for fun or entertainment as a child? What did you enjoy doing?
Well, the good thing about living in a court, or on the corner of a court, and me and my brother being couple of the oldest ones there. There were a couple of older ones that didn't hang out with us so much, but there was us, and then either side of us were kids. They each had, I think, a son who was a year younger than me, and then they had sisters younger than them. So we'd all hang out together, and then over the road that way and over the road that way, and there was lots of us. So we all used to just hang out outside. After dinner, people would come out in their pajamas, and we'd play the big skipping rope or kick the footy and see if you could hit the power lines, and So anyway, when we had our little sister, and she was not yet talking, so she must have been 1. When we were allowed to play with her without our mum in the backyard with all the neighbourhood kids, right? So when one of the neighbourhood kids did something they weren't allowed to do, in our opinion.
Oh, dear.
My brother and I arranged we'd hold this court case in our backyard. And our little sister, the 1-year-old, was the judge.
Oh, for God's sake.
And guess who the interpreters were?
No. Oh, no way.
So I can't even remember what things people did, but we'd haul them into our backyard. They'd have to sit there, and we would say to all the neighbours watching the things that they did, and then the judge would say blah, 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 blah in her baby language, and then we would say what she said. And the punishment was usually that you're not allowed to come and play at our house for however many days.
It's harsh.
Our house was like the epicentre of the court.
I think the court thing is really, I lived in a court, up the bell of the court, and I think it's actually a really location has a lot to do with those relationships and friendships in a court when you're a kid.
Yeah, because you can go out and and walk across the road and not get run over by a car.
Yeah, so I think that's something compared to a normal street where it's a long street. I think people that lived in courts have, I think, a better childhood. It's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, because when we built our house in Rowville, when we bought the block, there wasn't even a road. Everything was on the plan, and our road, what we could see on the plan, it was like dead end. We didn't know where the road was going.
Okay.
Built the house. The road got put in just before we started building.
Wow.
And within maybe a year or something of us building, they pushed the road through, and it came out onto not a main road, but a road that was connected to a main road, and people use it as a ducking through.
Cut through.
And it's got those chicanes in the road. You know those little traffic islands?
Yes.
It doesn't slow some people down. Some people think they're going to see how fast they can actually fly through it, and see if maybe they can actually leave the ground as they go through it. And where our house is right on a chicane, and we didn't know we were getting that. We've got lovely neighbours every side across, next door, even one down, and we go out to dinner together and stuff.
Lovely.
But our kids have not really spent time together because as if we're going to let our kids go and play.
That's right.
So
on the racetrack.
I would take them down to the park or we play in the backyard, but they didn't play with the neighbours' kids. So it's sad they didn't have what I had.
It's a bit of a thing, I think. Now, what about your favourite meals as a child? Like dinners back in the 80s, they're not like they are now.
Well, they are at my house.
No, but what people get called? Yeah, what people get called? Anything specific?
I can't think of any
grandparents' meals or anything.
I know I used to like Christmas dinner because Mum would do the roast chook and all the roast veggies, and I loved that. But that wasn't only just for Christmas. And we do that now as a family. Or like lasagna with the roast veggies, but I do remember meals I hated.
Maybe I should add that as a question. What was your least favourite?
My mum used to make her own, what do you know as chutney?
Oh, okay.
But instead of chut with a T, I call it chuck with a CK because it's chuckney. It makes me want to chuck, right? So she would make shepherd's pie with her chuckney. I can't tell you how disgusting that was.
Like a fruit chutney or something, or a tomato chutney?
Tomato, I think.
Yeah, okay.
It was just foul.
No good.
Absolutely foul. I hated that, and Dad used to make a spaghetti, but it didn't have meat in it, and it had his homemade sauce. Maybe it had chutney in it. I don't know, but it was really bad. It was not nice.
Oh, no, that's no good.
Yeah. And, okay, so I've inherited this hobby, I guess, from my mum. She's a real gardener, and I like gardening too, and growing veggies and stuff. So she grew heaps of veggies, and unfortunately, one of the easiest veggies to grow is silver beet. She'd call it spinach. I can tell you now, it is not the same thing. It does not taste as nice as spinach.
Yes.
It is not. Silver beet is disgusting.
I'm not a fan of silver beet, but yes, I had a lot of it as a kid too.
Yes, and you know what makes it worse? It's when your mum uses grass clippings as a I guess like a mulch, and when she brings the spinach in, she says she washes it. Now, washing to her is not using your fingers under a running tap and rubbing it and turning it over and rubbing the other. No, she'll just get the bunch and flick it under a running tap, and that's washing it, right? So when I'm eating my silver beet, which was a massive pile, like I'm talking about a third of my plate, I'm not exaggerating.
Yes.
Sitting in a big pile by itself, nothing else on it, like honey or something to disguise the taste. And I can taste grass. And I am saying, I can taste grass. And, of course, she thinks I'm lying. No, you can't taste grass. Don't be ridiculous. Da, da, da. Well, how would I know what grass tastes like unless I'm eating it? I'm telling you I was eating grass and spinach. And she would make me sit there at the table until I've finished eating my silver beet. And being a kid, you don't think, get the yucky thing out the way first and put other things in your mouth with it. I would leave it till the end, and then I'd sit there for like an hour.
I've got to say, I've never cooked with silver beet as an adult. I wasn't keen on it.
Oh no, I cook spinach, and I like it. Like I'll just wilt it a little bit, and I'll put in stir fries and stuff. But it's different to silver beet.
No, it's those really crinkly leaves. And,
it's a different taste, and the stems really.
Stalk and everything.
She would put the stalk in there. And,
oh my goodness!
Yuck.
Now, my next one, you mentioned the campus. So, any memorable holidays or outings as a child?
Well, obviously the Port Arlington, because we went there every year. Now, Mum and Dad bought a speedboat at one point.
Oh, wow.
We had this big speedboat, and it had like the half cabin.
Yeah.
And so we'd end up taking the speedboat and towing it on the back of the camper van. And so we would go out every day fishing on the speedboat, and it was great. And I got to drive the boat because back then you didn't need licenses or anything. No. So I would drive, I'd be like nine years old driving the speedboat.
Yes.
And we would fish, and they bought this big tub. I don't know how many litres that is. At a guess, it's probably like a 20-litre tub or something. I don't know. Because they thought they'd fill it with fish.
Oh, my gosh.
We didn't fill it with fish, but we did catch a lot of fish. Like we might catch over the 2 weeks, 40 fish.
Yeah, right.
They were always flathead. So guess what we had for dinner every night in the camper van was flathead, and you had to pulling the bones out.
Yes.
So guess what fish I can't stand now?
Oh, no.
I'm flat-headed out.
Really?
Well, I was. I haven't had any since then. I don't dare. Maybe I need to try it again.
It's the best fish. Like, honestly, it's still like my dad had a boat and he always wanted to catch something different. He wanted to catch garfish. He wanted to catch different fish. He was sick of catching flathead, but flathead was still the best fish. And I would watch him fillet it on the boat. They cut through the gills, down the spine and the other way so that they'd be fillets, no bones, head and the spine would get chucked to the seagulls.
Oh, I don't think my dad knew how to do that.
So I try to do it like he does. So one of our friend of the show, Nyden, he has a boat, and when he goes fishing, the deal is he gives me the fish, but I'll fillet the fish. So I try and do it the same as my dad. I don't get it as perfect as him, and then just crumb them and fry them in butter, and it's just delicious. Just so delicious.
I'll have to try it when I'm out.
Flatty's a good fish, even though there's lots of them. That's all you can pretty much catch.
No, well, I don't eat a lot of fish because we can't have it at our house because my son Connor's anaphylactic.
Okay.
So when I go out, I usually eat barramundi or something or salmon, and I love them. But I might try flathead just to see if it's still like
it's a good fish. It's not a fishy fish. Some fish is quite. The flavours, that kind of fishy. Yeah, fresh flathead, delish.
Well, I just got so sick of it.
I bet you did.
But, we used to just walk around in our bathers and our thongs and walk up and down the caravan park by ourselves.
And you got, like, just the 5 of you?
Yeah, when my sister came along, her as well. I remember, this is funny. So we had her little potty. It was this little yellow portable potty, right? And I don't know what potties are like now, but back in those days, it was just a thing, and you'd have to go and tip it out.
Yes.
Like it was like sitting on a bowl. Basically,
I'm sure there's contraptions now that are
they probably flush and everything, and they're self-cleaning and all that. Yeah, I don't know.
Do.
Anyway, so we had her potty, and I remember one night, I think Mum, Dad, and my brother must have been sleeping in the tent because my sister and I were in the camper van by ourselves, and you can lock the doors, so it's quite safe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she went to the toilet in the night as little babies do. I needed to go, and there was no adult in there to walk me over to the toilets, and I couldn't leave her by herself, so I sat on her potty. Can't see in the dark. I didn't turn the light on.
No.
In the morning we get up, and he's right up to the top. I don't know how my mum got it out without spilling it.
That's very carefully, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So I sat on a baby's potty when I was probably about 9 or 10.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, when you got to go, you got to go.
Exactly.
It's there. That's what it's there for. Now, thinking about childhood pets, I know you're a cat lover. What sort of childhood pets did you have?
Yeah, it's a bit of a sad story. I wasn't really allowed much because my mum's just not an animal person.
Yeah, okay.
Dad had a dog, but we just weren't allowed to. She laid down the law. No, we weren't allowed to. So I started off, I was allowed a goldfish because my brother had a goldfish called Fred. So I got a goldfish called Frederica. But I had at least 3 Fredericas because they kept leaping out and landing on the carpet overnight, and I'd find them in the morning.
That little flick that they do.
I know. So we ended up getting a lid that had a bit of a gap around it to stop them jumping out. And my brother's fish, Fred, I always thought he had cancer. He was this massive
like
thing.
A bulbous kind of stomach. Yeah.
I was talking to my dad about this the other day, and my whole life up until now, I thought he had cancer.
Oh.
And my dad would stick a pin in him, and I thought he was like trying to pop it.
Oh, my gosh.
But apparently I can't remember what Dad said, but apparently that was what you're supposed to do. It drains whatever it is.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Oh.
I still don't know if he's making it up. But anyway, when I was in high school, I was allowed a budgie.
Oh, okay. Graduated from the fish to the bird.
To the budgie, and that's as good as it got for me, unfortunately.
So nothing to cuddle as such.
I got twinkles. And I tried to teach him to talk. He wouldn't have a bar of it. But he'd sit on my shoulder and kiss my cheek, and, I'd sort of train him a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And when he died, I was devastated. I buried him, I think in a toilet roll, mate. Did he fit? I'm not sure. I think I was in year 8 or something. He didn't last too long. He might have carked it from the heat. I don't know. Mum wouldn't. She'd forget to bring the bird cage in on a hot day, and I think he carked it. I found him on the bottom of the cage. Anyway, I'm sure I shoved him into a toilet roll. Sounds funny. But anyway, and buried him outside the laundry, and had a little grave there. And so I used to visit him sometimes. And have a bit of a cry. He was my
Oh, dear. How old was he when he died?
Well, I don't know.
He didn't last that long, probably.
Well,
a little
he was
while,
probably
though.
he was probably only 3 years old or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So no, I didn't get a mammal pet until as I was an adult, and when the kids were little, we got our bunny. So she was lovely. I got her from Liz's kinder. So she went to FW Kerr.
Oh yes, in Fetcher Gully. Yeah.
And I go in there one day, and oh my gosh, there's a box with baby bunnies in it, and a sign that one of the parents, their bunny had baby bunnies, they're dwarf bunnies, choose one and take it kind of thing. So I'm looking at them going, oh my gosh, I want one. So I went home, I called my husband at work, can we please have a bunny?
Yes.
So then I rang the kinder, and I think I rang the kinder, I must have, and asked them, can you please make sure no one takes that light brown one because I want that one, I've just got to go buy a hutch. So off I go doing bunny shopping, come to pick up Liz from kinder and take the bunny with us. Told it was a dwarf bunny. Well, she was like a big wild hare. She was huge. So the cage I bought, within months, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to build something. So
filled the cage.
I'm a bit of a handy woman. I take after my dad, and I had I had one of those greenhouses that is sort of about probably the height of a person, like an arch kind of greenhouse thing with the plastic and the zip that you get from Bunnings or somewhere. Yes. And the zip and everything had broken on mine, so it wasn't really useful anymore apart from being shelves. So what I did, I turned it on its side, so it was this big cage.
Yes.
What did I do? I got like chicken wire kind of stuff and wrapped it and cut one bit, and so that was a flap that opened. And then on the end, I got the hacksaw and cut some of these bars it had on the end of it for a hole big enough for a bunny to go through. And then I built this box and hung it on the end with hooks, and I had a lid opening on that too, so then put all the hay in there. So she lived in that for her whole life. We only had her for 6 years. She should have lived till about 12, but I believe she died from bacterial poisoning.
Oh, gee.
One day we were going on holidays to Queensland, and the neighbours over the road were going to come over and feed her. And the day before, I had just bought a new big bag of hay from the pet food place up Wellington Road on the corner of Listerfield Road. It's still there now.
Yep.
The hay that goes to horses and everything, and I bought a big stack of that. And I gave it to her the night before with her normal food. But when it was night time, I checked on her. That's all right, because I had to put her up, instead of having her down underneath the pergola on the pavers, because she wasn't going to be let out at all while we were away. I thought I'll put her up on the grass, and I put her some leftover of our pergola covering, because we built our own pergola. I put that over the top and held it down with a brick so she's got shade when she was under the trees and that. But so she's on the grass. And I went to check on her before I went to bed, and she's just lying there near her food and hadn't eaten much. I thought, oh dear, I hope she's okay. I'll see how she's in the morning. We were catching a really early flight in the morning, so get up in the morning, go and check on her. She's in the same spot. And, and her face is like right next to the water bowl. And I'm thinking, once a bunny goes downhill, they're dead in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do anything about this.
Yeah.
We're about to catch a plane.
Oh my gosh.
So I wrote a note to the neighbours and put it in their letterbox with it half sticking out, hoping they'd see it before they went to feed the bunny. I don't know why I didn't send them a text message, because we actually had mobile phones because they contacted me when I was in Queensland. I just wanted to let them know. I didn't at the time make the link between the new hay that I got. So I just said, look, she's getting old, but she wasn't. But I didn't know what else to say, because I didn't want them to think that they had poisoned her or something. So I said, she's getting old. I said, she doesn't look too good this morning. I said, look, if it turns out she does happen to die when we're away, can you please bury her in such and such a position? 24 hours later, I get the text message that she died, and they've had to bury her in the garden.
Oh, my goodness
gosh,
me.
my poor neighbours, because we were going to be away for like a whole week. I didn't want her dead body in the cage for like 6 or 7 days.
Back. Yeah, I know.
So I had to get them to bury her. So that was
oh my gosh,
absolutely horrible. Anyway,
over and above.
It was months later. I was at the hairdresser, and we were talking. She was talking about her friend who had horses, and her horses got sick, and she had to call the vet in, and he said he tested the hay and there was high bacterial levels in it, and she got it from the same place I'd got mine a few months earlier when I'd bought it at the same time. So I put 2 and 2, and he said, if you're lucky it's a horse and not a rabbit, because it would kill a rabbit. Oh, my gosh. So, and turned out that was when we'd had a really hot but wet summer.
Oh, okay.
You know, they roll the hay bales up and they leave them sitting out there. So I reckon it was festering out there, and then they've sold it in the shop without knowing.
Geez.
Poor little thing.
Gone too soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Goodness gracious. Now, my next one is around what your neighbourhood was like. So you were talking about, you know, living in a court and, talking about that. What about any childhood memories that still make you smile?
Yeah. So, as I said, we lived on a corner, and then on the corner of the court, then the next house along, they were our friends, and then the next house along from that was the second house from the next corner.
Okay.
And I remember it had this big fence, and there was a girl who lived in there, and she went to the tech.
Okay.
So my brother and I are walking home from the primary school one day, and we're coming along, we're just about to come up to our house, and she's just come across the street, the road of the court, walking home from tech. And we just suddenly said to her, "What's your name?" Because we knew she was a neighbour and we hadn't met her. "What's your name?" And she just looks at us and goes, "Well." I mean, why would you say that as a response? So,
attitude.
Guess what her name was to us?
Well.
Her name was Well. For years, we assumed her name was Well.
Oh, my gosh.
And it wasn't until we were older we just thought, like, that actually wasn't her name, was it?
Oh, that's gold.
What else can I remember? Okay, so across the road we had these two kids. They were older than us, maybe the Donnelly and Darren. I can't remember who was the oldest. Maybe Darren was the oldest. I think Donnelly was my brother's age because he used to hang around with her sometimes. So me and my brother and Donnelly were across the road at her place, and my brother and Donnelly both decided they would pick me up by my feet and drag me on the concrete. And my clothes pulled up and they scraped the skin off my back.
Beast.
Yes, so that was something.
Beast.
Oh, I've got to tell you this story.
Oh, yes.
Okay, this is so fantastic. I love this story. It was so good. Now, how old? I might have been, I think, about 10, and the girl across the road, Theodora. It was the only Greek family around, so everyone else was Anglo-Saxon.
Yes.
Theodora, she was, I think, maybe 2 years younger than me, and she went to Good Shepherd Primary School.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
I didn't know what her face looked like. That sounds really weird, but she was a little bit like Cousin It in that her fringe came all the way down to her chin.
Oh, gee.
It was never tied back, and she would just, peek through. Like, I didn't know what her face looked like. Anyway, so at age 10, I said to her, "Maybe we can cut your hair." Right?
Oh, no.
And she said, "Okay, let's go." I said, "But we have to ask your mum." So she asked her mum in front of me, but it's in Greek. So I can't speak Greek. So her mum's standing there nodding and smiling, yes, yes, yes. Right? And so she goes and gets the scissors and hands them to us. So here I am thinking, great, her mum said I can cut her hair. Okay, so I'm doing the right thing. Okay, I'm not naughty. I did the right thing. We go into her bathroom. I cut her fringe off. Now, I was being very careful, thinking, okay, it's got to be near the eyebrows. Cutting it near the eyebrows. When I finished, I cannot understand why all she had was 0.5 centimetre of prickles on the top. I swear I cut it down near her eyebrows. What happened?
It bounces up, yes. Yes.
It was terrible. And then I looked at her and I said, "Oh, I've got to go home now." So I put the scissors down and I just ran out her front door. And her mum's just like saying something in Greek as I ran out. Anyway, I'm at home. A couple of hours later, Mum was out the front doing gardening.
Oh, no.
She comes inside. "Catherine!"
Oh, God.
I come out and "What did you do to Theodora's hair?" So I had to tell her I cut her hair. Her mum said I could because, Mum didn't believe me. She marches me over there to the house and I had to apologise to her mum. My mum was mortified.
Oh, my gosh.
I had to apologise to her mum and Theodora. And poor Theodora had to go to school like that, and I don't know how long for because it took a long time to grow back out. But it turns out, and I don't know how I found this out later, but it turns out she didn't ask her mum if I could cut her hair. She just asked her mum if we could borrow the scissors. Oh. I don't know what she told her we were doing with them, but it wasn't cutting hair. So,
jeez, a bit of clarification would have been good.
And another funny story. So my sister 8 years younger. So Theodora was 2 years younger than me. She had a sister who was a few years younger than her. So her younger sister and my younger sister were not too far different in age. So I don't know what was the lead up to this, but it turns out that Theodora's sister, I don't remember her name, her and my little sister, both, toddlers, a little bit older than toddlers, decided to both pull down their pants, squat on her driveway that was on a slope and pee and and race their wee down the driveway to see, I don't know who won, but
Oh, my gosh.
oh, the memories you have. It's crazy.
I was going to say, one of my questions is, what's the most mischievous thing you did as a kid? Is it cutting the fringe? Is it?
Well, but I thought I was doing the right thing, so that wasn't mischievous.
You're doing her a favour.
What
to help her see.
That was naughty. Hang on, just give me a sec. Maybe I was naughtier in high school. I'll share something I did in high school that
we've got a school segment coming up.
I might have told Dad. I don't know if I've told Mum. And I've told them like 30 years later.
I interviewed someone the other day, and I haven't released her episode yet, but she told me one of the funniest stories that her dad at this age, he's 90 and he doesn't know, so he'll find out when he listens to the podcast. But we will move on to education and school life. So describe what school was like for you, and did you like school?
It was okay. Prep was the first time I got in trouble.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. Maybe you remember this. I remember.
I have no memory, Catherine, We've just been through our photo albums and gone through our primary school years.
I remember.
And we remember everyone's name.
Do you remember, I think it was the first day of school, she gave us all sultanas. We ate sultanas on the first day.
Oh, jeez. I don't remember
and
that.
I thought that was really special because it was in one of those little packs. It wasn't like Mum's big sultana pack and you get a serving from it. It was in a special little
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Good
in a
God.
box. So we got sultanas. That
Amanda,
was special.
shout out to Lady Amanda. Does she remember that? I'm not sure.
Maybe. She's going to remember the thing I talk about in Year 4.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. Oh, I think I was trying to impress my fellow prep students, trying to be the cool kid, and I scribbled on the back of a chair. On the back of one of the plastic chairs because, I was like doing graffiti or something.
Graffiti
I don't think I knew what graffiti was when I was 4, but scribbled on the back of the chair. And
oh, dear.
one of these other so-called cool kids went and dobbed on me to the teacher.
No.
That was not cool.
Oh, no.
And so Mrs. Russell comes over and tells me off. I can't remember what happened. Did I have to clean it? I don't know. Did my parents get told? I really can't remember.
Probably. Oh, what a tiger.
And I've got to share. So year 1 when I had – no, hang on. Was it year 1? Yeah, year 1, Miss Jeffries.
Okay.
Yeah. We had to – when we finished our work, we'd have to stand in a queue up to her chair so she could check our work.
Oh, yes.
And I whispered to – do you remember Melanie Banford?
Yes.
How do I remember who I whispered to?
I don't know.
She was sitting there doing her work
yes,
still. I whispered to her and said, "Oh, it's easy, isn't it?" Or something like that. And, of course, Miss Jeffries heard because the class was quiet because they're scared of her. She yells at me. I'm standing there and of course, I just piss myself.
Oh.
Nobody else knew I had, though. It went because I had stockings on. It went all down my stockings and into my shoes, and I spent the rest of the day like that.
Oh.
I must have stunk, but nobody said anything. I was just, oh, my gosh. But year 4 was pretty cool. So we had Mr. McLean.
Yes.
He was a little bit scary but a bit cool at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, I've got to ask you something if you remember it in a minute. I'll tell you this story first. So one day, Amanda and I used to, Lady Amanda, we used to share a desk. So we'd sit 2 to a desk.
Yes.
And one day in the playground there was a stray dog.
Okay.
You don't remember the stray dog story?
I don't.
And, of course, she adopted this dog. We don't know where it came from. Maybe it belonged to somebody. I don't know, but it seemed to live at the school. And she brought it into our classroom and he sat under our desk for the rest of the year. Mr. McLean let us have the dog under our feet at the desk.
Shivers. I do not remember that.
And I was a little bit scared of dogs, but I don't even remember what kind of dog it was. Amanda, do you remember?
What were you thinking?
This dog. What did we call it? I don't know. Amanda, what did we call it?
Oh my gosh, we'll have to fact check that.
Was so
we'll see
cool.
What's her recollection of that? That's hilarious.
I know. So that was just crazy. But
dog under the desk.
Yeah,
I do not remember that.
Anyway, can you remember this? I guess a story that was going around about Mr. McLean. I feel like I heard this come out of his mouth, but maybe I heard it from somebody else making up stories. But do you recall him saying, or someone saying about him, did he drive this little teeny tiny car like a little Morris or something like that? Like he was a big man,
He was a big man.
man.
Yes.
And he was saying he was too big for the car, so he ripped out the front seat and sat on the back floor, so he drove the car.
I don't remember
sitting
that.
on the floor and reaching the pedal with his feet and steering it, and he could see out. Like, does that sound a bit far-fetched?
I remember the staff car park. Like that's where they all parked in that front area where all the staff parked.
Yeah.
But no, I don't remember that.
I don't know where I got that story from. I swear he must have told us, but
yeah, he was my favourite teacher. He was my favourite teacher.
I don't know who my favourite. No, I reckon Mr. O'Keefe was my favourite. He was year 6. He was fun. He got us to do.
Didn't he? He had a moustache.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
He got us to do aerobics in the classroom every morning before maths.
Okay.
And then maths we split, and I had Mr. Guest, and he was scary as heck. And
Guest.
we would get yelled at for turning up like a minute late for maths, and we'd have to say, Mr. O'Keefe had us doing aerobics. He didn't care. We would get into trouble.
So scary. I know there is a Facebook page related to the school, the Brandon Park Primary School, and when Mr. Guest, everyone talks about how scary he was. Everyone thought the same about him.
Maybe I should get on there and share that story about the head banging into blackboards.
Yes.
For those listening, he would grab what it was considered a naughty kid and smash their head repeatedly, like 3 or 4 times into the blackboard. How can you not get brain damage from that?
I know.
Oh,
it's such a.
That's why he was scary.
He was tall and loud and looked cross all the time.
And you felt like they were older, like our parents, but they must have been in their 20s.
That's exactly right.
Mr. Guest, Mr. McLean, they must have been in their 20s.
Yes, I agree. I think what we would call the older ones probably weren't the older teachers either. So Mrs. Winbanks and some of them.
I don't remember Winbanks. I really don't.
Oh, she was so lovely.
I remember in year 6, me and someone else. I don't know who. Maybe it was Amanda. I don't know. Me and somebody. No, actually, I think it was Carmel. Me and Carmel used to go on like office duty.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
We used to answer the phones.
We had this old-fashioned switchboard with the lights and the flickety-flicks, and you'd ask them to hold, and then you'd have to run down to the staff room and tell the teacher there's a phone call.
I had to do it as well.
Yes.
So, there was a difference, like to put people on hold, or it was all lit up like a switchboard and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
That was cool. I know. Imagine having a student answer
grade
the phone.
6 kid running the phones in the office.
That was like unofficial work experience.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really loved that. Yeah, and you had to go and get the teacher. It wasn't.
Yeah, because we didn't announce it for some reason. We have to run down and get them.
Was it everyone that had? I'm going to ask Amanda if she had to go at that.
I think you could sign up for it. Like I don't think you had to.
What a strange thing to do.
I know.
But I do remember that very, very clearly.
I don't recall any of the calls that I had, but I used to be really nervous about it. I don't know why I wanted to do it.
I remember the switchboard and what it all looked like with all the little heaps of lights and heaps of switches.
And you only ever used one switch?
Yeah, I know. I remember what it looked like. How bizarre. So did you like school?
I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. I was just a bit, I'm here. This is what we do.
Yeah. Primary school, high school.
Yeah, both, I guess. And, you have your good times and your bad times. There's times when you might have a fight with your friends or whatever and you have to find a new bunch of friends or, just things happen and I remember in high school we had a really large group of girlfriends that would hang out, I think sort of across year 7, 8. There was about 9 of us. Lots of different nationalities. By the time I went to high school, Anglo-Saxons were probably in the minority.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Greeks, a lot of Italians. I had a Turkish friend. I had a friend from, I think it was Malaysia. There was a German. There was so many different ones. Whereas primary school, there was almost nothing.
Yeah, very much so.
So strange.
Yes.
That all of a sudden, big jump. But I guess going Wheelers Hill Secondary, that newer part of Wheelers Hill was very popular with, I guess, European countries.
Yep.
So, yeah, we had a big group of friends. And then there was another group of girls in our class and one of the other classes. So I was in 7E and 8E. There was an F class.
Okay.
So our classes went up to
I remember you had heaps,
I think. There was 9 classes. Yeah, like our school was huge.
Yeah.
In the girls in the 7F, the whole class was like, sort of mean girls kind of.
Yeah.
Except for one, poor little Tanya, ended up, I think in maybe year 8, this lady. Now, it's funny. We didn't get told in those days that we had a wellbeing team and stuff.
Yes.
Didn't even know about that. This lady from the school, I don't know who she was, came and asked me if I would take this little girl under my wing from the other class. I didn't know who this woman was. I don't even know if I'd ever seen her before, but she was, I don't know, just a teacher or somebody, but I think she was like a wellbeing person.
Okay.
So they moved Tanya into our class because she was getting bullied, something shocking.
Oh, gee.
But anyway, so so there was 9 of us. And these other girls, a couple of them decided it would be funny to try and cause a rift in our group. And I don't know whether there was a racist thing going on there or not, because there was, as I said, a lot of different ethnicities in our group. So they told, I think, Olga, who was Turkish, and Denise, it's ended with a Z, Denise, who was German, I think they told them that we were saying stuff about them behind their backs to them. Me and Tanya, I think. I don't know why they targeted us. And this always happens to me. Whenever somebody says something nasty about me, instead of coming and checking it with me, they just take it as gospel and assume that I would do something like that. Why do people think that about me? I've never done stuff like that, but it's happened even in adulthood a couple of times. It's so weird. Anyway, and you'd think in adulthood people would be more mature to
that's right.
know that
of course.
I need to check this out. No. So they just took it as gospel and stopped talking to us. And we got kicked out of the group. So me and Tanya just hung around together for a couple of years, hung out with a couple of other girls. One girl, this new girl, Rhonda, turned up. And you could tell once she found her feet, she was going to become one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
But somehow me and Tanya found ourselves with her and some other girl she'd sort of latched onto, and we just sort of hang around and just sit there talking. Anyway, this Rhonda girl, she had a boyfriend outside of school. I don't know how old we were, maybe 14, possibly 15. And they used to, before I knew what the term was, they used to chrome. With preen. So they'd get a hanky and spray preen on it and put it over their mouths and suck it in to get it like a high.
Oh, my goodness.
And poor little Tanya, she was like the goodiest goody two-shoes ever, like even more than me. And afterwards she's like, I don't want to hang around with her anymore. That's bad. I don't know what that is. That's bad. And I was like, yeah. Well, I said, but we don't have to do it. It's fine. Like I didn't care if she wants to do that, whatever. I'll just still hang around. We were getting on. But, so that was probably my first experience of, I guess, drugs, someone doing that. But at the time I hadn't heard of that. No. So I didn't really know what it was, and I didn't tell anybody thinking I should tell somebody. Term in
years you hear about on the news and things, but now it's probably vaping.
But yes, I remember her preen. That's
how bizarre.
Oh, that'd make you gag, wouldn't it?
Bizarre.
But anyway, a couple of years went past where we were ostracised from our group. And then one day Tanya and I wrote a note, as you did in those days, and passed it in the classroom to, I think, Fiona and Sia was another friend we had, and asked them, can we be friends again kind of thing. And they were like, yeah, we don't even know why we weren't friends. We just followed Olga and Denise. Like, oh, great. Like I'd known Fiona since like prep, and she decided to follow these other two and just assume that I was saying bad things behind their backs. So then we became friends. And then I think when did we have typing class? Was that year 10 it must have been. I had typing class, and Tanya must have been in there with me, and we decided to pass a note to Olga, who was sitting a couple of, because we all sit one after the other with our typewriters, and pass a note to her and say, we've made friends with Fiona and Sia. Do you want to be friends too? And she's like, yeah, sure. So we just became.
Let's forgive it in the end.
But we didn't start hanging out together anymore.
Okay.
It's still I think. Oh yeah, by then I ended up hanging out with Christine, but some of the others sort of came back. But Olga and Denise ended up leaving. I think she left then. She'd gone down to Frankston Way somewhere. So she'd gone out of the picture. So Olga then blamed Denise because she wasn't there anymore.
Yes.
So we were friendly, but she'd gone and got her own friend group by then. So we didn't join back. Yeah, so I was sort of back with some of the others that we initially started with, and yeah, it sort of just, and some of them dropped out after year 11, and year 12 we sort of branched out a little bit further and made a few different. Year 12 was a bit different. We didn't have to wear uniforms either in year 12, and we could sort of leave school if you had a free period and just head down to the shops. I presume I was allowed to, because I remember doing it, and I'm not the sort of person who would have. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. So a couple of times I did. I actually wagged, but you didn't go to a public school. So when we were in year 10, because I was on the younger side, so I didn't have a job. Actually, I didn't get a job properly. I always just sort of did babysitting and sold things at craft markets with my mum. I used to do knitted finger puppets and a few little things. That was my little pocket money. But at the end of the year, when you have the last couple of weeks where you didn't do anything, it was just activities. It was so stupid. You might as well just stay home. If you had a job, obviously you'd go to work. Okay. And for those who didn't have a job, would have the activities. And you go to Gunbuyer World and places like that. But you also did in-school activities. Now, I don't know, did they not mark the roll? I do not know. I mean, surely they must have known who was meant to be off at work and who was supposed to be coming to school, but they mustn't have known, because I got away with this. Went to school in my uniform, brought my tennis racket along. Me and my friend Christine had decided this is what was going to happen the day before. We went to school, we met up at school. Can't remember if we checked in and got marked off anywhere, don't know. But we then left the school, went back over towards her house. She had the keys for Wheelers Hill Tennis Club because her family were members.
Yes.
I was a member of Lum Reserve.
Okay.
And we spent most of the day playing tennis on the tennis court. So at least we weren't like off graffiti somewhere, causing havoc in the shopping centre. We were playing tennis. But here's the funny thing. I went to do a serve, and as I served through, I heard and felt this rip. This split went up the back of my school uniform. No. And I was like, oh, my gosh, how am I going to explain this? So when I went home, I had to show Mum. I couldn't not. But I just said to her, I just reached up and it split, because it was getting a little bit tight by then, because I don't think I ever got a new dress. She bought my dress in year 7. The hem was that big so she could take it down.
Just let it down, yeah.
And I was so grateful for the girl over the road, Diane. She was one of the cool girls.
Okay.
Luckily, my mum hadn't clicked that she was one of the cool girls. In year 7, she went to a different primary school. Okay. But before we started year 7, in the Christmas holidays, I was complaining because Mum was making me have my dress down here under my knee, and I'm going to a public high school, right? And luckily I knew that was like, you're signing my death certificate here. Luckily, I was carrying on about it. So in the end, she said, let's ask Diane and see how long her uniform's going to be. And I'm thinking, thank goodness for that, because hers will be right up here, I'm sure. Sure enough, hers was halfway up her leg. So my mum decided, okay, well, we'll have it just above your knee then. So luckily I got away with that.
Happy medium.
So had that. So, I had the same dress, and each year she'd just sort of lower the hem a little bit more. And, of course, with my winter skirt, we'd roll it up so it'd go up a bit higher, and they were very expensive, so you wanted that to last. And they were a little bit goosey-loosey because you wanted them to last the whole time. So you had to roll it anyway.
Yes.
So the dress was getting a bit tight. So I just told Mum I stretched and it had ripped, so she bought it. And so she sewed it, so it was even tighter then.
Oh, no.
But she didn't want to buy a new uniform because I only had year 11 of wearing a uniform, because year 12 was free dress.
Yeah, right.
So I just had to put up with this dress that was a little bit tight, which was good because they were like tents. They were so
big A,
unattractive. Yeah, like an A tent.
Yeah.
And am not big busted, so I did not have a body that would fill it out properly. It was just this A thingy. So guys never paid me attention until year 12 when I got to wear free dress. Yes. And then I actually looked like a decent person. So I had a couple of guys in year 12, a younger guy who was interested. I wasn't interested with him. I go, oh my gosh, I'm going to go away. But yeah, I got my first boyfriend in year 12. And I attribute that to not having to wear a uniform anymore.
It held you back all those years.
Definitely.
Oh, my gosh. In my next segment is family life as an adult, and you do currently have a partner.
I do have a husband, yes.
And you have children. What sort of holidays or favourite getaways that you've had with the family when the kids were...
It's been tricky because I grew up going on camping trips with my family in tents and stuff in caravan parks, and that's what I did. My husband, he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't like the whole communal bathroom thing. If he wants to go camping, he wants to go out in the bush in the middle of nowhere where the axe murderer is going to get you and you have to dig a hole to go to the toilet, and I won't do that.
Yes.
So if we've ever gone camping, in inverted commas, it's been in a camping ground in one of the cabins that has its own ensuite.
Yes.
So we've done a few of those. We never had a lot of money. We always so I was a stay-at-home mum for 9 years. So about a month before my first was born, I quit my job. We didn't have paid maternity leave back then anyway. You could take maternity leave, but I knew I wasn't going to come back because I always knew I was going to be a stay-at-home mum. Steve and I talked about this before we got married. I said, one of us needs to stay home and raise the kids. I don't want to be putting them in childcare and having someone else see their firsts. I want to do that. You know, it's different for other people and I respect that. But for me, I wanted to have one of us, but probably me, because I feel like it's easier for women to get back into the workforce after having kids.
True.
It's a more accepted thing, which is unfortunate, but that's how it is. So I was a stay-at-home mum. And I did get like the family tax benefit, but my husband's worked in customer service, so that it's not a very high-paying job. So we just went without a lot of things. One of those things was holidays. So we would go on a big family holiday to somewhere like Gold Coast or do the Tasmania trip or whatever once every 2 or 3 years.
Oh, nice,
In between that, we didn't really go on holidays as such, apart from a couple of times a year. Steve's parents, Steve never left home. His parents left home and he then rented the house from them.
Oh, wow.
And we ended up buying that house from them purely for convenience because anyway, long story. So they moved down to Anglesea, which is down sort of Torquay way.
Yes.
So we used to go down and stay with them for a few days as our holiday.
Oh, wow.
So that's what our holidays were like, because that was free, apart from the petrol. Yeah.
That's good.
So that's what it looked like for our kids. But we did the Gold Coast a couple of times, stayed in the hotels, and we did the 2 weeks driving around Tasmania with the portable DVD player in the back to entertain the kids.
Tassie's the best.
Tassie's
the best. So you live in Rowville at the moment?
Yeah.
And what do you think has been the happiest time in your adult life so far?
Oh, it's mostly pretty happy.
Yeah.
I really cherish the time I had as a stay-at-home mum with my firstborn, where it was just the two of us. It was really hard when she was little. Both of our kids were criers, and I could not pick up what they wanted. People say, the cry's different from when they're hungry, from when they're wet. No, it's not. They're just screaming their heads off.
That's right.
And I don't know why. And I remember one time going out in the backyard and screaming my lungs out, effing everything. Like, I'm not a swearer, but I let fly. I don't know what people thought of me. It's a wonder someone didn't call the cops on me, because it probably sounded like I was murdering her. But when she wasn't like that, it was just the two of us, and we'd take her little doll in a pram. We went on a dead-end street that ended at the Tullamarine Freeway.
Okay.
So,
you were in Essendon.
Essendon, because my husband, we bought his parents' house, so I just moved in basically. So we were there for about 5 years before we moved over this side. So we'd walk her little baby in the pram up and back and, you know, and because we live so close to the Keilor Road shops, I never – well, not very often. I didn't often do a big shop.
Okay.
I'd put her in the pram and we'd walk around and every 2 days I'd go and get groceries and just fill up the bottom of the pram. And, you know, you'd go along to the fruit shop and the ladies would lean over and think, oh, my goodness, what a beautiful little baby. Oh, look at her eyes and eyelashes. And, you know, you'd get all the goers and garas and it was such a lovely time.
Yeah.
And when Connor was a baby, it was very different because I had a toddler that I was wrangling as well.
Yes.
But also because he had chronic eczema.
Yes, I do remember
which started at about 4 months old. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And he still battles it now. It was at its worst when he was in kinder, I think, because he had to go to kinder looking like a mummy, like with all the wet wraps and that.
Yeah.
I ended up on antidepressants. It was just horrific. He was sitting there at the dinner table one night when he was 4. Like, this is a 4-year-old, and he's sitting there scratching and crying, and he goes, I wish I was dead, then it wouldn't hurt anymore.
Oh,
a 4-year-old saying that, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't cope.
No.
So I went to the doctor and I said, I can't function. Can I just go on some tablets so I can help my son? I can't help him. Well, I'm starting to feel like what would it be like if I wasn't here anymore?
I know.
So, so my memories of that time when Connor was little are very much, I guess, clouded by all that stuff. And I always remember him crying because he was in pain. And I didn't know before he could speak that he was in pain. It was probably from the eczema. And I just didn't know. But the funny thing is, looking back at photos, he looks so happy.
Yeah, I know.
He was such a happy little baby.
Yeah.
But I remember him as a crying baby.
Yeah. Just distressed with the eczema.
Yes. And then, of course, came the food allergies and we're rushing to emergency and all that sort of thing. But that's a whole other story. But when I really do try to, and I look at the pictures and of the photos and I remember what we were doing that time, I do remember he was happy.
Yeah.
But when I first start to think about it, all those sad memories come because they just played such a huge part in that time. But I loved being a mum of little children that they really relied on me for survival. I really missed that. And I guess when the kids got a lot older and like in their late teens, I started going through a bit of a, they don't need me anymore, who am I kind of a thing. What's the purpose of me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of mums probably go through that.
I think that my dad had this saying that everyone has a need to be needed.
Yeah.
And, when you're not needed anymore, where's a sense of purpose?
Yeah. Well, and this might sound funny to people who don't have pets or don't have cats, but my 2 cats fill that need.
Yeah.
And especially this year because Max, like my cats are 14, but have you ever seen those things on social media, those videos where it goes, okay, I'm going to break down the cat years for you. So 0 to 12 months, just a baby. 12 months to 5 years, just a baby.
Yes.
5 years to 15 years, just a baby. Okay, so my cat, they're 14.
Yes.
They're elderly, but they're just babies,
Absolutely.
right? Because they can't survive without
No.
me. And I am the chosen one in our house.
Yes.
So it's lovely. So they're just all over me. One's on my lap, one's behind me. I'm sitting there crocheting. I'm trying to wrangle the yarn, and these cats are sort of trying to get it, and they're all and the one's rubbing on my head, and then they're brushing my hair with their claws, and then they're touching noses, and we're having kisses, and it's crazy. So they feel that need. And Max has had cancer this year, so he had. Well, it started last year. He had this. I didn't even notice it actually. I went. Oh, bit of a story. So I take them every year for their checkups and vaccinations, and the year before there was a shortage of I think it was the feline AIDS.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a shortage.
Yes,
so they didn't
was.
have any. So I had to go on a waiting list.
Yes.
Right? So one day, halfway through the next year, I get a phone call and they said they've got to, can you bring both your cats in? We can do them both at the same time. Okay, great. So I brought them both in and got that done. But while I was there, it wasn't my normal vet. It was another vet, and she decided to do a full checkup. And I said, you don't really need to, because they had their checkups not that long ago. Oh, no, I like to be thorough. And I thought, oh, gosh, I'm paying for this, aren't I? I've already paid for it. But just as well, because she said, what's this? And I look inside his ear. So in that, like their ear's there. So not in the ear, but just at the front section where there's the skin is not as much hair as outside, right? There was a sore on there. And I said, I don't know, I haven't noticed it before. I said, could he have like a mite or something on his body that's sort of, I don't know. She says, have you been giving him I said, I give him Revolution on the back of his neck so, he doesn't get all those sorts of things. Anyway, she gave me probably a cream or something and off I went. But it actually got a bit worse. So I ended up going back and got my normal vet this time and got him to check it out. And then that's right, it started appearing on the other ear as well. And he said, it could be like a dermatitis or something like that. And I said, so it wouldn't be cancer, would it? Not on both sides. He goes, it wouldn't be on both sides if it was cancer. Anyway, so he wanted we were trying special diet and all sorts of things over a number of months, and they just weren't getting any better. So when it got to, I think it was January, there ended up being another sore on the front of his shin. And I showed that to the vet and he says, that could be one of those licking sores where animals. And I said, it looks suspiciously like these. No, let's just get these sorted out first. We'll worry about that later. The whole time he's been saying, look, we can take a biopsy just to rule out things like cancer and stuff like that and, bacteria and whatever, but I really don't think, and it's very expensive. So he kept sort of palming that off. In the end, I said to him, can we just get the biopsy? We need to find out what we're dealing with. Got the biopsy and then I got the phone call that it's cancer. And so I'm in tears on the phone and I'm thinking to myself, we should have got, he's had this for a year. He's had this on his ear for a year. Is this spread through his body now? Is he going to die because...
Was it like a melanoma?
Well, fortunately not. It's the second one, the squamous cell.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which can still be bad because I'm thinking it's been on there a whole year. And I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, mums always know best.
Yeah,
right from the start I was flagging the cancer and saying it couldn't be, could it, on both sides. Yes. But it's just in that ear part, I worry because they sit in the sun. He should have said, well, I'd be surprised, but why don't we check it just to be sure? But he didn't. No, and I should have pushed for it. So it turned out it was skin cancer and it's on both sides. So then I'm talking about the leg again and I'm still getting that, let's not worry about that, let's get this sorted out first. So I left that, but it's still on my mind. So I get sent to these surgeons over in Glen Waverley on Blackburn Road, so it's borderline Mount Waverley. Mm-hmm. They are so lovely there. The way they talk to your pet is just beautiful. And anyway, so I got my husband to come with me because I said I don't know what it's going to be like. I might be having to make a horrible decision or something.
I know. Yes.
So he took the day off work and we both went in there and they went through all the different options and we had about probably 6 different options of treatment.
Okay.
They went through – they spent about 2.5 hours with us. It was amazing. And in the end – one of them was to go to Sydney for something. I was like, oh, gosh, far out. There was so many different options. We went for a really hard, let's just get in there and get this thing out. So we decided on surgery, cut it, but also at the same time for this electrochemotherapy.
Jeez.
Now, I don't know why they don't offer this to humans because it sounds awesome. So what they do after they've cut the site, they then give him the chemo injection in his body. Okay. And then they use this electro thingy, zappy thingy at the site to draw the chemicals to that site.
Yeah, right.
Now, why can't they do that with humans instead of making us sick?
Yeah, all over.
Why can't they? Why can't they just get it to target that one area? Anyway, so they did that for both of his ears. So when he came home, the kitty litter tray was going to be out of bounds. We had to separate the cats because it was going to have all this
yes,
whatchamacallit, radioactive in it. So I had to wear gloves and all that sort of stuff. And the poor thing in a cone, and he's still in a cone now, and I'll tell you why. On and off. So got that sorted, brought him home. So I'm nursing this poor cat. We had to keep him quiet and separate and The poor little darling. And he was all shaved. You should have seen him. He was like one of those sphinxes, like they have no hair. Like this tiny little head, dear little Max. Sweet little thing. And, he was shaved all like down the back. It was just all shaved. He was just no hair on his head. And so he was our little cat with special needs for quite a while. And then we'd have to go back and have stitches out. And then one of them he'd managed to get to one of them and scratch it just on the edge of the cone.
Oh, no.
So that got infected. Oh, I forgot to tell you, at the same time, he had a bacterial infection on the worst cancer. This is before he had it surgically removed.
Oh.
I can tell you the name of it. Elizabeth Kingia miracola, named after Elizabeth Kingia.
Oh, my goodness me.
It made its way to the moon at one point. It's been to the moon. He's got a space bacteria. No, it's in soil and stuff, but somehow it survived when they went up to the moon somehow. I don't know. Anyway, it's an antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So in my head I go, oh, my gosh, my cat is going to die from a bacterial infection.
Gee.
And then my vet calls me when he found out what it was, and he said to me, don't touch the site with bare hands when you're cleaning it and stuff. This is before he's had the surgery because it's very infectious and it can cause UTIs in humans. And I said to him, oh, my gosh, I wouldn't normally tell you this, but I've actually got a UTI right now. I said, I've never had one before. Oh, my gosh, I could actually have this, and it's antibiotic resistant. What the heck am I going to do?
Oh, no.
So I go to the doctor and I tell the doctor, can you please check it's not this bacteria? But it wasn't, thank goodness. Oh, gosh.
Gee.
Anyway, there was one medication that they have found is sometimes successful. So I had him on this medication, right?
Okay.
So then he goes, gets the surgery, comes back, and then he got the secondary infection, needed more surgery. Then I'm seeing him do this weird twitching, like his head's twitching. I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, is he going to have a seizure? What the heck? So I videoed it. And this is happening like Friday, I think, and the surgeons are closed Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, no.
But they monitor their emails over the weekend, and there's always someone on call if there's some sort of emergency.
Yes.
And there's actually an emergency centre across the road from the surgeons. So I took a video of his twitching, sent them an email and told them what was happening. I get a phone call and they said, is he still on that medication for that bacteria? I said, yes. I said, stop that medication. No. It can cause seizures. Oh, my gosh. I said, has he been on it long enough, though? Because he's got that Elizabeth Kingia miracola. Yeah. It's the only one that will work. And they said, well, how long has he been on it for? And I said, almost 2 weeks, not quite, maybe 10 days. They go, that might be long enough because he was meant to be on it a little bit longer. They said that might be long enough. So take him off it. So I took him off it. So I don't know if that's what caused it or not because a couple of times since he's done it a little bit again, but not much.
Oh.
Anyway, so had to keep him in the cone for a very long time. And then that's right. When he went for the second surgery because he'd scratched, I said, look, while I'm here, please can we, and I didn't even get the words out. The surgeon said, yep, don't worry, we'll cut that thing off his leg too. To give you peace of mind, we'll check what that is.
Yes.
It was exactly the same thing. I tell you, I'm not kidding, mums know best, whether it's your human baby or your fur baby, you know.
Yeah.
I knew I was looking at the same thing. It looked the same to me. They didn't think it would be skin cancer because it's a lot of hair on his leg.
Yeah, that's right.
But I reckon
that little section really, the ears were different. Yeah.
But I know with me, I've had 2 melanomas and one of them was down near my ankle. Fair enough, that probably gets sun. But I had one on my lower back. Now, I always wear one-piece babies. It never sees the sun.
Yeah, yeah.
So my skin cancer specialist has said to me, you might just have that genetic makeup where you just get melanomas not caused by sun. So I go for checks every single year. I was going every 6 months. Maybe Max has that too. I don't know, but with the squamous cell. So he had that cut off as well. So I was like, what if he gets any more? I said to Steve, we're going to have to get to a point where we're going to go, how much of this poor little darling can we cut out? He's getting older. I don't want him to spend his last few years getting cut up all the time.
Surviving.
But, so what do you do? So anyway, he seems to be doing really well. Whenever I was taking the cone off and trying to give him cone-free time, I wouldn't see it happen, but I'd see that worst part on his ear would come back red and a bit bloody again. I said,
just fiddling with that.
Yeah, he's done something. The cone will go back on. Anyway, at the moment, all is going well. We've had the cone off, I think, is it a week or 2 now? Maybe a week, but I'm putting it on him at night time.
Oh, okay.
I did forget one night, but he was fine in the morning.
Geez.
He's doing really, really well. But we've gone and got some new furniture recently. The old furniture, the cats had completely hacked it. So our cats are getting a manicure every week now. I'm not talking about just cutting. I always cut their nails anyway.
Yes,
they quite
same.
happily sit there purring while I do their nails.
Yeah, same.
I'm filing now. I file them rounded. So now when they go to get the couch, instead of actually grabbing it, you can hear it going like that. Their paws are sort of skimming down it.
Yes.
So now I guess he can't do too much damage if he scratches his ears.
True.
He can still do, because I think the skin's like it's thin. It's weak.
It's quite.
Yeah. So I've been
there.
keeping the cone on for so long. I'm hoping I've given it time to heal and be able to withstand when he's licking and all that sort of stuff. So far, so good. The leg seems to be okay. The ears are going okay. He does have a bit of a funny eye. I have to put ointment in his eye every single day, twice a day.
It's like an elderly person.
Oh, exactly. Like it's almost a full-time job looking after my cat. So, yes, they're filling that gap that my now grown-up babies have left.
Gosh.
So there is still a purpose to me.
Still keeping you busy. Now, my next segment is relationship questions. Now, how did you meet?
My husband?
Yes.
At work.
Yes.
Yeah. You usually meet at school or work, don't you, most of the time?
Yeah.
So we were working in Blackburn at a place called Neo, and it was a design and manufacturing company. They did the Tabaret gaming machines, and there was, I think, there were mobile phones when they first were coming about. Maybe it was it Nokia? Maybe can't remember now. I worked in the accounts department, so I was the accounts clerk, and Steve was the service team leader, I think, for the Tabaret machines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and I ended up doing his payroll. So,
wow.
And I kept having to dock his pay because he was always late for work. So we lived in Blackburn and he lived in the Essendon house.
Yes.
And he would sleep through his alarm. So when we first got married, I'd be forever nudging him, get up, your alarm, you got to go to work. And our son is the same now. In fact, sometimes his alarm doesn't go off. And I said, put your phone on the other side of the room. I do. I said, so what? You're getting up in your sleep, turning it off and going back to bed? He said, I must be. So he's the same. He takes after him. So, I'd have to dock his pay because they used to clock in and he'd always he'd be like half an hour late and whatever. Lucky they didn't give him the sack. But, so we met there. He apparently the first time he met me, he was smitten. At that time, I was in the process of trying to get back with my boyfriend.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I didn't, I wasn't interested at all. And he was completely different to who I'd normally date. So I, didn't even notice him. But one day the receptionist started teasing me about him, saying, he really likes you. He does not. He does. Anyway, so we ended up being friends, and then I was single for quite a long time. So we ended up being quite close friends. And then one day I just suddenly realised, oh my gosh, this is the sort of person who is a keeper. Like he's going to love me for the rest of my life. Yes. He's not going to cheat on me. Like the guys I normally go for, they probably would. What am I doing? So I decided to tell him how I felt, and that was it.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. So when did you get married?
1996.
Okay.
So I was 22 still.
Yes.
Only by a couple of months. He had just turned 27. So he's 4 years older than, hang on, did he turn 27? So if I was turning, I've lost track now. I think he was just turned 27 and I was about to turn 23.
Okay.
So there was the 4 years, yeah. So married in 96 and my sister was my bridesmaid and my mum. So I didn't get a say in my bridesmaid's dress.
Oh, my goodness.
I did like pink and luckily I only had my sister as my bridesmaid. I didn't have multiple because my mum decided – so my sister was 8 years younger, so she was still a teenager, so she wasn't going to buy her own bridesmaid's dress. So mum was going to have to buy it, right? So mum made her made me have her wear my year 11 formal dress that my mum made out of taffeta. So back when we had the coloured buffy taffeta.
Yes.
As the bridesmaid's dress.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it looked nice, but it's not what I would have chosen. So I just had to go with it because I was being told what to do, as usual.
Oh, my gosh. What about any trips or holidays that you guys had before the kids came along?
Well, when we got married, we bought the house.
Yes.
So, you know, you're saving.
No room to move.
No, that's right. So you're trying to pay that off as fast as you can. The only trip we did, apart from visiting his parents in Anglesea, was just before we decided to start trying for a baby. We did a road trip up to Canberra. I don't know why.
Nice.
We went to Canberra.
Yes.
It was freezing cold. It was like June, July or something.
Yeah, that would have been very cold.
It was very cold, but yeah, that's what we did.
So how are you alike and how are you different?
I think we are very much homebodies.
Yes.
We love being at home. It's our happy place, our safe place.
Yes.
I couldn't care less if I never go on a holiday, and he's a bit the same. We just want to be at home.
Yeah.
I probably come across like an extrovert a bit, but I'm not. I think a lot of people have a bit of both in them.
Yes.
It depends on the situation. So chatting with friends, I can be extrovert.
Yes.
But I have introvert tendencies, like I just want to sit at home with my cats, watching Home and Away, you know. So we've got that in common. We're both Christians. So he was a Christian when I met him. I wasn't. Well, after we got married, I was going to his church and I became a Christian. So we've got that. We love going for walks together. We like bushwalking. Sometimes it's a bit tricky now because he's got a dodgy knee and I've got a dodgy hip.
Oh, no. Great combo.
I hurt my hip playing basketball and I tore the labrum of the cartilage, which is like the lining of the cartilage, and I ended up having surgery about 11 years ago, but it's come back again. So now I'm just trying to live with it.
Yeah.
We like going out to dinner sometimes. We love kayaking.
Oh, yeah.
So we've done a little bit of that. We'll often go to the boathouse in Kew and hire a kayak and just paddle up and down the river.
That's cool.
Just because.
That's cool.
Yeah, because it's fun. Yeah.
And what do you admire most about him?
I think he's just a very kind person. Very, I guess, accepting and tolerant. Sometimes I think he can be a bit of a doormat, as in because he's so kind and he's giving and wants to let other people go first. He just lets people walk all over him, and that infuriates me. And I just want to say, for goodness sakes, get in
Stand
there
up for
and
yourself.
don't let them get away. You know, but no, he's a little bit too kind for his own good sometimes. But that's definitely one of the things that I admired about him when I was starting to think, oh, maybe he's the one that, you know, because he's such a kind person. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Well, my next segment is work and profession. What was your first job?
That's kind of hard to pinpoint. And it sounds really weird because do you mean my first full-time job or job I had when I was studying?
First job ever.
Well, okay, first job ever would have been babysitting.
Yes.
For neighbours.
Yeah.
So babysitting and then, of course, doing craft work with Mum. But first proper job was when I was I was one of those people, I was never super awesome at any subject at school and never really bad at anything. So in year 12, I did not know what subjects to pick. I remember listening to your podcast saying you were the last, you repeated year 12 and you were the last.
I repeated year 11, yes.
Sorry, 11. So you were the last year to do HSC.
Yeah.
But I was the last year to do HSC.
It was a hybrid. So 91. So yes, 1990 was the last year. 91 still had some HSC subjects. Maths and English were VCE, and the rest of them were HSCs. Right. Then 92 was all VCE.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I graduated in 1990, and my certificate says HSC in brackets VCE,
Yeah.
even though I didn't do VCE subjects, I think because we're on the cusp. But anyway, I picked subjects. There was English. I did Maths A, which is equivalent now to Maths Methods.
Yep.
Graphic communication,
Oh, yeah.
which I picked up in Year 12, not having done it since Year 8. They let me do it. I wasn't any good at it. And accounting.
Okay.
And biology.
Okay.
So
It's
real
such a
mix, which of course did not enable me to get into anything.
Yeah.
Because usually if you needed a science, biology wasn't one of the ones you needed.
Yeah.
It was chem or physics.
Yeah.
So I found I really liked accounting by then. I'd done it in Year 11 as well. And oh my gosh, you're going to laugh. This is so dumb. We are so dumb as teenagers. The only reason why I picked accounting was because the guy who was in the year above me, okay, I'll say his name out real loud, Lorenzo, who I was obsessed with since I first laid eyes on him in Year 8 because he looked like Morton Harker from AHA. Flying down Phoenix Drive on his bike, I was like, oh, my gosh, it's Morton Harker. He's going to our school. And then I was his stalker from then on.
Oh,
I'm
my
not kidding.
gosh.
Anyway, he was doing accounting in Year 12, so I decided I would do accounting too in Year 11. Not that our paths would cross because of it. How stupid. Anyway, but I found I liked it.
That's good.
So but I didn't get a high enough Anderson score, which is now ATAR, Anderson score. So our Anderson scores were out of 410.
Yes.
I needed 300 and something to get into Monash Uni. Now, it never occurred to me, and my parents never put it to me, that I could go to university to Monash Gippsland or somewhere. So some people would do that and they go live on campus.
Yes.
I guess assumed that was never an option for me. That was a lot of things in my life. I just assumed things were not an option for me. There's no way my parents would do that. I don't know whether that was true or not. I would say probably not. I probably wouldn't have been allowed to. I did get a high enough score to go to Monash Gippsland, but of course I didn't put that down in my list.
Oh, the preferences.
So of course I didn't get into anything.
Yes.
Because I had Swinburne, RMIT, all those kind of places, and they had higher Anderson scores. I don't know what I got, 200 and something or other.
Yeah.
I don't know, 260 or whatever. I got pretty much straight C's.
Yeah.
But luckily my mum had talked me into applying to Outer Eastern TAFE, but not the one you went to, the one in Wanturna.
Yes.
Which is now Swinburne.
Yes.
And just as well because I had to go for an interview and I got accepted there into their accounting course, which I was thinking of using as the stepping stone then into uni.
Yes, of course, yes.
So I went to TAFE there and gosh, I was so young. I was 17 when I started there and people in my class were like 21. I drove to TAFE with one of the ladies that I babysit for. She was like 40. She was like my best friend at TAFE. We'd hang around together. Turns out so many of the guys at TAFE thought she was my mum.
Oh.
And she's like, Catherine, I'm cramping your style. I said, no, you're not. She said, no, the guys, they think I'm your mum. I have to go. And I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, anyway. And I did really, really well there. I remember one of the exams, I think it was doing balance sheets and profit and losses and stuff. I got 100%. It was just, it came easy to me.
Yes. That's great.
Really liked it. And when I finished, I think I was just so sick of studying, but I contemplated, I knew some people who were doing the course in computer programming.
Oh, yeah.
And I found when we were doing our computerised accounting class, I was always, because the teacher was always going around having to help people, I was doing the teacher's job. I was going around helping people. I understood the computers and how to do stuff.
Yeah.
And at home, we had a computer since, I think when I was in Year 7, I think Dad brought a computer home. So that was back in 85. So we were pretty early getting a computer. So my brother and I were self-taught in programming and he taught me, I don't know where he learnt, the program Basic.
Oh, yes.
And we actually made games, like where you type, it was like an adventure game.
Yes.
You type in, pick up the stick, walk south to da-da-da-da.
Yes.
Tell the witch this, and we have drawings and stuff in there. So we all did that. So I was good at that kind of stuff. So I was contemplating then going on to computer programming. But I think at the same time I must have been looking for jobs and I found a job. Oh, no, that happened later. No, I'd been working. Do you remember the store Fossey's?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, my gosh. My next door neighbour got me a casual job there while I was at TAFE.
Okay.
I don't even know what the job was. It was in the merchandising department. No, it was in logistics. But I don't know. I used to just look at these printouts that came out of the dot matrix printer, the A3 that had the holes on the edge, and you'd tear them off. And I'd have to just highlight. These were like store orders, and highlight any that looked like, wow, that's a lot of store orders. Is that an error? And that was my job.
Wow.
What do you call that? I don't even know. I think it was called merchandise assistant, but I don't know. But anyway, when I finished TAFE, I used to do that job like one day a week or something. They gave me a full-time job there, but the company was like, it was falling apart. Yes. They were going to have to. 6 months later, we had a big meeting after a couple of months and said in 6 months' time we're going to be closing.
Oh, gee.
So straight away I jumped ship and found a job as an accounts clerk / Person Friday.
Okay.
At Neo, where I met my husband, and started off there. So I was doing like petty cash, and then I was helping out accounts payable and accounts receivable. And then when the lady who was doing the manufacturing and warehousing side of payroll, she then taught me how to do the payroll because she had to leave because her daughter, I think, was in an accident or something. She had to become a carer. So I took over her role. I really enjoyed doing that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I was there for about 2.5 years. I was a bit of a job hopper.
Yeah.
2.5 years, that was my longest job. So I'm now working in 2 jobs. One's in our church office, and it's the second time I've been there.
Okay.
The first time I worked in our church office, I was there for 8 years. My longest job ever, even though it was part-time.
Wow.
But I've come back again a second time, and I've been there 4 years.
Okay.
And my other job's at Reading Bees, where I'm teaching literacy, and I've coming up to 4 years. So next April, May next year will be 4 years there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Now, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, when I knew you in primary school, I wanted to be a primary school teacher.
Yes.
So in high school, in year 10, when we did work experience, I got work experience at Waverley Meadows Primary.
Oh, yeah.
And my friend Sia, I think she came too. But we never really got to do much with the class. Like, I think I read a story. I think I was just hanging around like a bad smell. But that was back in 1988. Mm-hmm. And we were, I believe, in the thick of the recession we had to have.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I remember being in the staff room at lunchtime chatting to a couple of the teachers, and one of them said something to me that I've never forgotten. And they said, and this is back in the day when you didn't apply for jobs, you got posted to teaching jobs. Mm-hmm. She said to me, if you're ever lucky enough to get a job, you'll be sent out whoop somewhere. And that stuck with me, and I didn't know anything about the recession.
No.
I didn't know what that meant, nothing. I didn't understand it, whatever. So I just thought it's really hard to get a teaching job, so I'm probably going to be unemployed.
Oh, no.
But if I do get a job, I'll be sent out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
I'll have to leave home.
Yeah.
So that put me right off. So I thought, well, I'm not going to be a teacher then.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided I was going to do accounting because Lorenzo was doing accounting.
So you did go and do your bachelor at some point though? Yes,
I think I was 37.
Yeah, right.
And luckily that was at the very start of online learning.
Okay.
So what year would that have been? It must have been around about I graduated in 2011 or something, I think, around there sometime. Yep. So first of all, I was talking to a friend. The kids were at tennis lessons, and I was talking to a friend there, and I said to her, I don't know why, but I was working the church office, and I said, I've been thinking about how I used to wish I wanted to be a teacher, and I've been thinking about it. And she goes, you can do these things online now. I said, you can't do teaching online.
Yeah,
she can.
Yes.
So I Googled it.
Yes.
And Open Universities came up.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing them on TV. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a sign, And then I was helping out in Liz's classroom at school. She was in year 5, and there was this like naughty boy in the class, and I was helping in his small group, and I'm sitting there helping him, whatever. And this naughty boy, he just looks at me and he goes, "You should be a teacher." I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like all these neon signs were coming out. So I contacted Open Uni and had a bit of a conversation with them, and I could actually do a subject without actually enrolling in the degree, so you can kind of test it out.
Okay.
But that would count as part of your degree.
Okay.
So I think you could do up to two subjects at the time. I don't know what it's like now, but so I just did one subject. I can't remember. I think it was educational psychology, actually.
Okay.
So I did that in secret. The only people who knew was my husband and my kids. Didn't even tell my parents, didn't tell anyone, because I thought if I really suck at this, I don't want anyone to know.
Yes,
right?
that's right.
I thought, gosh, I haven't done studies since 1992.
Yeah.
I graduated at TAFE.
Yeah.
So over the Christmas holidays, because open unis, because it's online, it just runs all year round.
Right.
They're not on Christmas Day, but you can study Christmas Day if you want.
Yes.
So I signed up. I think it started December and went to the end of February. So they were 3-month study periods they were called, rather than semesters. So you'd have 4 study periods a year. So I was doing that study period. Was it 4 or 1? I don't know, being over the Christmas holidays. Let's go with study period 1, I think. So I did that subject and I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
And I got 90-something%. I got a high distinction. I think it was one of my highest scoring subjects. In fact, it might have been my highest scoring. I think it was 94%.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I guess I'm doing teaching then.
Yes.
So I enrolled in the degree, told everybody what I was doing. Most of the time I studied full time, which meant 2 subjects at once in the 3-month period. Juggling my kids. I had one in high school by then and one in primary school, so doing 2 different trips.
Yes.
And the church office job all at once.
Oh, God.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It took me 5 years because a couple of study periods I cut back to part-time, but only because I think the subjects I wanted to do weren't available in that study period and I had to wait.
Okay.
But anyway, came out with an average high distinction at the end of it. I got about 6 different letters along the way from the Board of Examiners congratulating me on my high achievement and that. And I thought, isn't that the way with older? You've got that life experience and stuff behind you. You're more dedicated to your study.
Right.
Yeah. So, I did that and graduated at the grand old age of 42.
My gosh.
Yes.
And then you went to work as a teacher then?
Yes. So when I was doing my final placement, it was a 10-week internship and I did that at my kids' school, but you're not allowed to actually do it at your kids' school. But I ran it past my uni because it was at a different campus.
Oh, okay.
So it was at the primary campus, which was in Doveton at the time.
Yep.
Liz was and by that time Connor was in year 7, I think. So they were in Endeavour Hills. Mm-hmm. So I said, my kids have never even been to the Doveton campus. They went to a public primary school. So I said, I don't really know anyone there.
Yeah, it's essentially a different school.
Yeah, that's right. I knew the head of primary because he went to my church. So it was him that I approached. So he got me the job. So I actually volunteered the entire year, 1 day a week, just so I could get used to the class and the kids got used to me. So it would all work like clockwork when the time came. Yes. And I think it was in term 3 that I was there. So I did that term 3. And at that time, I started applying for jobs for the following year because private schools put a lot of their jobs up in sort of the July, August, September time, whereas the public schools seem to be more like the September, October period when they all come out. So I was applying to the private schools first, and I think I applied to 6 schools. One of them I didn't even realise that the application got caught in the outbox, so it never actually went through. That was to Oxley Christian College, but I'm kind of glad because that's just so far away from me. But I ended up getting an interview at Waverley Christian College, but they have a Narre Warren South campus, which I didn't even know about. Got an interview there, got the job. After the interview, they then called me and asked me to come in the following week to teach a prep maths lesson because they were wanting a prep teacher, and I was doing my internship in prep, and I said I like prep. And so I had to go in with the 3 panel members watching me. So it was the head of the campus, the head of primary, and the head of teaching and learning. All 3 of them who interviewed me were watching me teach. Oh, my gosh, I can't tell you how nervous I was. I know. I was peeing myself. Anyway, so I'm teaching them this lesson and I nailed it. And I knew I nailed it. I knew it was going well when I was doing it, and I could tell I was nailing it because when I glanced at the panel members in the back corner, they weren't even really watching me anymore. They were just laughing and joking and talking to each other. I'm like, oh, my gosh, I've actually got this job. Anyway, I got the job and I was just like thrilled, and I went and volunteered, did the prep transition days.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So I did that, didn't get paid or anything, did all that. Anyway, so the following year, in the end of January, I started and I had my preps about 3 months in.
Okay.
I thought I was going to die.
Oh, no.
And I say that literally because I was starting to feel a bit suicidal. I can't even – it's so long ago now. It's like how many – it was back in 2016, so it's like 9 years ago or something. I can't even remember, but – and I presume kinder's a little bit different, but there'd be crossover. Like there's so much admin.
Oh, you can't even imagine.
I can't believe I still did not even see how bad it was in my placements. One of my teachers – in a placement I did in year 2 in a public school, she was in tears when I was there. That should have been a red flag straight up, but it wasn't. I just can't understand it. I was working up to 70 hours a week. I cannot stand these people that get on social media and complain about teachers working 9 till 3 and all these holidays. And I'm ashamed to admit I used to be one of those people who thought, well, not exactly those hours, but I really thought it was going to be a heck of a lot easier than what it was. I was losing my mind. I was losing myself. I would come home later than my husband. I would leave before my husband. I would drive my kids. I would drop them off at Maranatha at 7:45 in the morning.
Yes.
Not allowed to do that. Luckily, I don't think anyone noticed in the secondary. They would sneak in. My daughter was in year 11 and they had a common room and there was a window that wouldn't lock and the teachers didn't know, so she would jimmy it open.
Oh, no,
Connor, who was little, would climb in and open the door and the two of them would go in there. Nobody knew where they were there.
Oh, my gosh.
So, I know, it's so bad. But and then I'd zoom on down to Narrewine South and get there, just after 8. And then I'd pay for the kids to catch the Maranatha bus home. I didn't want to pay for them to take it in the morning because I thought they're going to miss it. They're going to miss the bus and they're not going to go to school. I just can't trust them to get on the bus in time.
Yes.
And plus it was already for half. It was like thousands of dollars for the bus. And, I'd come home at like 6:30 at night, whatever, driving home in the pitch black kangaroo territory. Like, it's no wonder I didn't hit anything.
Yeah.
And my husband would come home from work and have to try and organise dinner. And we'd try and live on leftovers as much as possible. But you can only do that for so many nights.
Yeah.
I'd sit at the table and the kids would be telling me this excursion, that excursion, they need this, they need that. And I didn't know, I could not take any information in and I would just sit there bursting into tears at the table. I don't know what my kids thought. I was a mess. I could not think about their school, let alone my own school. And you'd hear my iPad doing its boop, boop. There's emails and crap coming through from school. Go have a life, people. All weekend. The bloody iPad. I didn't know how to turn the volume down at that stage. I would just feel sick. I felt sick. I couldn't eat. I lost... How much weight did I lose? I think I lost 6 kilos in those few months. Even one of my preps said to me something along the lines of, my dad said something about Mrs. Lockery. Is she okay? She doesn't look very well or is very skinny or something like that. And I thought, far out. The parents are noticing because I would look gaunt. My cheeks were sunken in. I'd lost so much weight. It was horrible. And one day I was driving to work and I started along Wellington Road looking at the trees on the side of the road thinking, if I slammed into one of those trees, if I don't die, I'd at least be badly damaged enough that I can't go into work for a while. That's what I started thinking, and I was getting a bit scared then because I'd been down that track before when Connor had bad eczema, and I started thinking, what would it be like if I wasn't here anymore? That's when I started getting scared, thinking, I'm going to have to go back on the antidepressants, aren't I? Anyway, one day I turned up at school and drove down the wrong side of the road. I was that sleep deprived because I wasn't sleeping. I was living off about 3 or 4 hours sleep a night.
Gosh.
And I thought, that's it. I walked into school and we had a building with just the prep and year 1 classrooms. And the one of the year 1 teachers, Jeanette, she goes by Nettie, who's now one of my best friends because she was my rock. She took one look at me and she goes, Kath, are you okay? And I just burst into tears and she goes, come. And she takes me to her classroom. And we sit there, I burst into tears and telling her what's been going on. So I hadn't told anybody because I told the 2 prep teachers that I wasn't coping, but no one could do anything for me.
No, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. No one can actually relieve the pressure from the admin to the responsibility to the parents and the children and it's a big gig.
But it was different at this school because
But you get school holidays, Kath.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not only was I having to do all the things that they do in public schools with all the meetings and stuff, we were meeting every single morning of the week. Monday morning was worship. We had to go and do, and okay, it's not a meeting, but for 15 to 20 minutes, I have preps.
Yeah.
The classroom doesn't magically set stuff up and the kids can't set it up. I have to do it. I don't have an assistant.
Yes.
So I had to go to worship Monday morning. Tuesday morning, I think, was whole primary meeting. Wednesday morning was prep to 2 prayer meeting. Thursday morning was whole primary devotion. Friday morning, I know, Friday morning I can't even remember. Then there's the after school. And you have the whole meetings and then your team meetings. And then there was ongoing induction all the way to May. Every fortnight I had to go over to the secondary building and have induction meetings on how to use Sector, which is the equivalent of what public schools use for Compass.
Yes.
I never even learned how to use the thing properly. And the man who was running it said to me afterwards, as I was walking out, he must have seen the look on my face like a deer in headlights. Like, I'm good with computers, but because I just wasn't coping, I was not coping, and they were going so fast, I just couldn't keep up with it. And he goes, everything okay? I said, I don't have a clue. I don't know anything that you've just told me now. And instead of saying, look, let me help you, he just goes, and I walked off and he just left me like that. So one day I said to my friend Nettie when I was crying, I said, I'm going to have to resign. I can't do it.
It's too much.
Either I'm going to be dead or divorced by the end of the year. It's not worth it. I can't do it. And it was it was an awful decision because I'd spent 5 years and nearly 30 grand of our money to get my degree. Yeah. And by the time I left, I've done 6 months. And I thought, well, the money I earned in that 6 months pretty much has paid for the degree.
Yeah.
So that was okay. I hadn't paid the HECS debt by then. It took me a couple more years, but I paid it off in 3 years. But my husband was so supportive. There was never any question. Just straight away, he was all for it.
Yeah.
And telling my parents was nerve-wracking because of what they're like. I thought they're going to tell me how stupid I am, we're wasted, but they obviously could see I was falling apart and they were very supportive.
Oh my gosh.
And so I walked in one day and handed in my resignation. I gave it to the head of teaching and learning, who was also the Prep to 2 team leader, because I said to my husband, who do I give it to? The principal, the head of primary?
What's the process?
There's such a chain of command. What the heck? So I gave it to her. She passed it on to them. Next thing you know, I get a phone call from his secretary. Like, it's never straight from him. These private schools, they're insane. It's like a big corporate organisation. So he won't make the phone call. No, he tells his secretary to call me to make a time for me to come in and see them. So I had to go in after school, another meeting. So again, sorry parents who are at the door wanting to talk to me. I have a meeting to go to, which I say every single day.
Yes.
So, and he and the head of the campus were sitting there laughing and stuff like they do. They're lovely people. But, I said, I know why you've called me in. So they were trying to talk me out of it. They then forced me to take 2 days leave to think about it. And I said, well, you know what that's done now. You've given me extra work now. I'm stressing I have to get everything ready for the CRT.
Yes.
Thanks very much. That just caused nothing but more stress. Yeah. So went back, stressed out they got a CRT to fill in the afternoon, but I'm sitting there trying to organise everything for the next 2 days. Went home, purposely didn't think about school and thought, this is bliss. I don't want to go back. So when I went back, they thought I would have missed it. Yeah. And I said to them, well, thank you very much for that time that really consolidated for me. I've made the right decision. I am out of here.
Yeah.
They were shocked. And so then they announced it via email. So the staff and the parents and everyone knew at the one time. I had to quickly word up my colleagues before it went out. One of them, this was on a Friday. She had Friday off. I had to call her on her day off. I said, I just want you to hear it from me, and this is why. And then apparently the head of primary was getting all these phone calls from parents in my class asking him to change my mind because You know what prep parents are like when it's their first child?
Yeah,
you're the best teacher
you can't
ever.
Change. You can't
but you're the best teacher ever.
Yes,
I'm the only teacher you've ever known.
Yes.
They didn't know I was a graduate because I was older.
Yes.
So
yes.
it was
Fair
after
enough.
that I told them I'm a graduate, and they're like, "Really? We didn't even know." I said, "I know, fake it till you make it."
Yeah. Yes.
But so I left after that 6 months, and I was scarred. I was even now. I don't know if you've noticed a couple of times I've been a bit teary. I still get teary because I feel like it ruined it. If I had have got a job at any other school, like at a public school, it would have been tough. But I don't think it would have been that tough. Don't get me wrong. It's a lovely school. I love it. The people there were beautiful. Fantastic school, but the workload, it's not sustainable. My best friend who went there, a couple of years later, she had a breakdown. She had to leave, and she'd been teaching for 20 years. She had to leave. The other two prep teachers who were teaching with me, they'd been there for years. They both weren't working full-time. I was the only full-timer.
Yeah.
They couldn't because they had other things going on. So
it's very, very hard.
Yeah. So anyway, I just sort of went on to assistant teaching for a few years, ended up in a public school, a massive public school out in Berwick in literacy support.
Okay.
After a couple of years, they introduced phonics at prep level in the secondary school because there are so many kids that can't read, because they've been doing this stupid whole language and balanced literacy, which I always knew was wrong. When I was at uni and I had to do assignments like essays and stuff on it, I would just pretend and type what I knew they wanted to hear because I didn't agree with it. I'm science of reading whole way. I didn't know about science of reading until a few years ago. But I just thought that's how you're supposed to teach, but that's not what we were taught at uni.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so they brought in phonics at secondary school, and we were going right back to basics, pulling small groups out. And because I was a prep teacher and I had experience with phonics because that's what I actually did at Waverley, I pretty much led the team. I trained the staff. I did all the lesson planning and everything, and showed them how we assess and all that sort of stuff. Did all of that. I did not get – look, there's a whole other story and I won't go into it because we're going to run out of time. But I was taken advantage of at that school, I think, as a teacher. I was not assertive enough to go, hey, I'm not being paid correctly here.
Yeah. So
I was being paid the same as any other integration aid, any other learning assistant. But I was doing a teacher's job, and I found that was my niche. That was what I liked. So eventually I left there thinking I was going to try CRT, which I did do a couple of days, but I stumbled across reading bees because I sort of Googled, I really like literacy. Is there anything literacy out there that I can do outside of a school? And I found reading bees.
Yes, that's
It
brilliant.
started off as a kinder and pre-kinder program where they get kids ready for school, and then they introduced the primary part of it. So it's like so for kids who are struggling at school, or some parents when their kids have started school and they want them to get ahead. Okay. So they come after school and on Saturdays. So I do Tuesday and Thursday after school, and I do Saturday afternoons, and I have small groups of up to 5 students.
Okay.
And I don't know how many kids I have. At one point I had about 40 students. It starts doing my head in when I got to assess and stuff. I'm like, which kid was that one again? I've got 3 Tobys. Which one? But I love it. And
that's good.
I think I'm getting quite good at it too.
Yeah, you found it.
And I've been there for nearly 4 years, and I was a bit worried. I thought, look, I'll try it for a year or 2, but I'll probably get bored of it after that. I'm still not bored of it.
Yeah, that's great.
There'll come to a point where I won't want to do it anymore. Every now and again I have a bit of a look out there, and I look back at schools and I go, because there's sometimes part-time jobs out there. Yeah. They're very hard to get. But sometimes I look at it and then I go to do the application, and then my anxiety from my experience 9 years ago kicks back in again, and I was like, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Yeah, it floods in. Absolutely.
I've just never got past it, never had counselling or anything for it. I just, same old me, soldier on, just keep on pushing through. But it's taken its toll, but at least I've found what I love.
So when you were talking about your passion at the moment is, how did you start your crochet business?
So as I said, Mum used to do craft markets. She was always a knitter and a sewer. So I used to tag along, and I'd made these little finger puppets. They were really crap now if you looked at them. I can't believe people paid money, but they were like 50 cents or something. Maybe not even that.
Yes.
I think I might have made – do you remember those fabric and padded photo frames.
Oh, yeah.
I used to make those. Just little things like that. And I might make $5. Mum might make $100 the day, but, it was fun. So I did that. And then when I had my kids, I did knit both of them the little old-fashioned matinee jackets, and Liz, I made a little hat. They were lovely, really beautiful. I think I've still got them. But then after that, I sort of forgot about it and decades, like I didn't do anything. Yeah. And then when was it? Connor started dating his girlfriend in 2021. So he was unfortunately a 2020 year 12er. So he did the whole year in lockdown.
Yeah.
So that was really, and it was tough on us too in trying to see graduations and stuff too. It was really difficult. But 2021 he met her at uni and they've been dating ever since. So I reckon what are we up to, 25? I reckon 2022 I noticed she had crocheted him some llamas. He was a llama freak back in the day.
Yes.
And he's got these 3 little llamas. I'm like, oh, my gosh, you can crochet. I said, I crocheted something once. Like I've always been a knitter, but I remember my boyfriend, I think it was his mum maybe, or was it his grandma? I'm not sure, one of them. I had this pattern, a beautiful cardigan. It was a knitted cardigan, but the sleeves were crocheted. I didn't know how to do it.
Yes.
But whoever it was, they knew how to crochet, so they showed me. So I made that, but I never crocheted again since, so I'd completely forgotten how to do it. So I got her to show me, and then I jumped on YouTube.
Yes.
And so then I started making a few things, and then I started thinking, well, I can't just keep collecting these things. What am I going to do with them? And I started looking at Etsy and stuff like that, but that was so expensive. And I thought, I don't want to have to send stuff overseas.
Yes.
So then I was Googling like Australian things, and that's when Made It came up.
Yes.
Made It, the Australian platform. So I looked into that and I thought, that looks quite good. So I started making a few more things, and then I applied, and you have to show them photos and you have to sort of prove that it's handmade and all that. And I got in, so set up a store, and within a month I'd sold one item. So
that's perfect.
It sort of took off from there. And after I'd done that for a year, so this time last year, I then decided I wanted to get my stuff on a shop shelf.
Okay.
So I looked at 2 different places. The one I settled on was Finders Keepers Emporium on the Burwood Highway in Upper Frenchry Gully.
Okay.
It's a bit of an eclectic store. There's craft work, there's paintings, there's like people make earrings, there's all sorts of handmade stuff. There's also collectors' things like antique kind of stuff down the back too, and a gardening section of that too.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful place. If you're ever stuck for a gift, you will find something there for sure.
Yeah.
Got myself in – at first I got rejected because she wrote back and said, I've got enough of that sort of thing. And I wrote back and I said, because I had a discussion with her and showed her photos of what I was making, and she sort of gave me tips on how to sort of make it so like, for example, thinking more like overall theme-wise. So I started thinking more of pastels and earthy kind of colours, because a lot of mums love that kind of stuff rather than the gaudy, bright colours.
Yes, yes.
And mine did look a bit mishmashy. So to give it sort of a more coherent feel, I sort of changed the colours and stuff. So and I've gone for cotton too, which also makes it look more cohesive. And I emailed her back and I was, that's a shame, because I did take into account the tips you gave me when I came in and da-da-da-da. So she wrote back and she goes, bring your things in, we'll have a bit of a chat. So just as what I did, because I go in, show her what I've been making, and she started talking like as if I've been accepted for it. And I thought, just as well I followed up.
That's exciting.
Because there's no one in there that has the same stuff as me, which is what she had said. There are a couple of other crocheted things. One of them I'm a bit suspicious of. I wonder if it's or something.
Really?
And, I sort of think there's too much of and that stuff's, But there's another one. They make like the plushy things with the, I don't know, what's that thick, what's it called? Is it chenille or something? That really thick, soft, you see crocheted animals, whatever it is. Anyway, she makes that and the brighter colours. So it's completely different to what I'm doing. So there's nobody else in there that makes my stuff.
So you're selling it through Made It and in the shop?
And in the shop. And I'm doing much better in the shop than on Made It. Made It, I was aiming to sell one product a month as long as I was covering my rent.
Yeah.
This year I've had a few months without selling anything. But my last sale, it was to one of my students' parents.
Okay.
But she's been following me online and looking at my Made It store, so I count that as a Made It sale.
Yeah.
She spent nearly $120. And the one sale, I was like, oh, my gosh, I've never done that before.
That's amazing.
So that's made up for the few months I haven't sold anything.
Yes.
The problem with my online thing, I'm supposed to be on socials just doing stuff almost every day. I'm lucky to post things once a week. Yeah, and I know it doesn't have to be when you make a new product, but I don't know how to do it.
Like
I feel stupid going, look, here's a photo of a flower I saw and, out having a walk today, the sun's shining.
Yeah.
I hate that. I feel like such an idiot. Who cares?
Yeah, and that's what marketing is now.
I know.
Whereas back in the day, marketing didn't look like that.
No,
but now, it's quite different.
So most of the time I try to do it, a quick little video of me making something or packing something or it's a new product that I'm plugging. So because I'm only doing those things, I'm not posting as often as I should. That's possibly why I'm not getting as many sales now. But in the shop, the shop rent there is, I think I'm paying about $79 a month.
Okay.
I think I've been there a year now this month. I think I've only had to cover the rent twice. Yeah. And not the whole of it, just part of it, because I've made sales every time.
So good.
I know. Would you like to see?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Here's a sample I brought just so you can see the sorts of things. This one I'm in the process of making.
Oh my gosh, it's cute. I'm going to take a photo.
But she's not finished.
Oh, she's not finished. She's so cute.
Okay. She's halfway. She hasn't got her clothes on.
Oh, she's cute. Yes.
So I got the idea because I get inspiration from other people.
So yes, that's cotton crochet.
This is all cotton, yeah. And a lot of the time it's organic. So you feel that. That's so gentle for me.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
So that was meant to be a cat.
Oh,
the first one I made, it was going to be a cat, right? So I was going for the cat, but then I realised when the other one I made, when I'd finished all the limbs and the head, I didn't have enough of that yarn left to make the ears. I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Something that doesn't have ears. I'm going to have to make a girl. So I just crocheted these strands. It's like dreadlocks.
Yes.
It's like plaits.
Yes.
And thought, what's that going to look like? And put them on. I thought, oh my gosh, that could actually look okay. And then I got inspiration from some other things online where instead of crocheting the skirt, which I haven't brought one with me, but with my animals I put a little tutu that's crocheted. Yes. They actually sew skirts with like material, flowery material and tulle underneath.
Yes.
So I thought, I'm going to have a go at that. So I did that and it looked amazing. Yes. So this is my second one that I'm going to do. So that's that one.
Oh, my goodness.
I've sold a few of these. These are
cute too.
These are I've got to take all these photos. These are my sleeping rabbits. That's in the same colour, I just realised.
Yes.
I do pink and purple and green and all different colours. They like that. I do sets, but I also can sell these separately. So you got your beanie and your booties.
Oh, wow. They're beautiful.
They've been really popular. They're so cute. Like seeing a little baby with his massive pom-pom are just adorable.
They're beautiful.
Yeah. And then a few of these kind of things, the lovey comforter blankets.
Yes,
so this one's a little bit different. It's a bear and it's a different thing, but I do them different every time. So people love those.
Oh, my gosh.
And then I've some adult things. I've done that. Like feel how thick and luxurious that is. Like they're so nice.
That's beautiful.
Now, that's not cotton. But a few different colours of those. My first, awesome. So I haven't sold any of those this winter, but last winter I think I sold about 4 different ones. So they were one of the first things I made for my Made It store, I think, from memory.
Okay.
Yeah. But I started off not doing cotton. I started off just using bits of wool and stuff I had at home, like acrylics and all that. Yeah. And I thought, why don't mine look as nice as some of the things I'm seeing online? And I realise a lot of it's AI now. I didn't realise at first.
That's right, yes.
So much AI craft out there. But I then started noticing some people were making cotton. I thought, and then I started looking into it and it's enviro-friendly and all that sort of stuff, gentle on eczema skin. I thought, oh, my gosh, of course it is. As an eczema mum, I know that. So I started crocheting in cotton and realised how much better they look as cotton.
Yeah, it does.
It's tighter, it's firmer, it's just so nice.
I agree.
I've got a little gift for you for having me on.
Bookmark.
A little bookmark. A little crochet bookmark.
Thank you.
You're
oh my
welcome.
gosh, that's very cute. Oh my gosh, bless you. That's so cute. Oh my gosh.
But I love it. I like crochet more than knitting because you only ever have one stitch on your thing at a time. Like with knitting, you can have like 200 stitches.
And I my daughter crochets a lot.
Oh, you got to learn. It's
we go through it, and I have a go, and then when she's not here, I get stuck, and then I have to wait till she comes home. But yeah, knitting, I'm still. Yeah, the crochet, I get in there, no mistakes, no unravelling or anything like that, no dropping a stitch or anything like that.
Yes.
But I still have not got my head around it. She's made blankets this big.
Oh, I've never done that.
She's made bags. She's made clothes. She's made so many crocheted items. I just I suck.
I crocheted a cardi recently and, no. I'm so disappointed. I've had to unravel the whole thing, and it's so hard to unravel. I've had to cut bits and waste some. I went to throw the whole thing in the bin because I couldn't unravel it. It doesn't unravel easily like knitting.
No, it doesn't. Because it's half knotting itself.
Yeah, it's like tied in. Like, oh my gosh! But I used about 5 bowls of yarn. I thought, oh my gosh, this cost me like about $60 or $70. Anyway, I eventually unravelled the majority of it. But when I made it, it was really nice. But something happened. It's to do with my tension. One of the sleeves was a little bit twisted or something. That feels uncomfortable. I can't wear it. I can't do it. No.
My next segment is passions and interests. So describe your first concert experience.
Madonna. Went to Madonna. I think it was.
Girly
was
show?
Was it 91 or 2? The girly show.
Yeah.
Yes.
God,
I remember I had the T-shirt.
I've never seen her. Oh, my gosh.
Well, it was my first concert, but what an experience. It was
absolutely.
At the MCG.
Yes, I was going to say, I remember.
So lucky it wasn't raining. We were right up the back. We brought our binoculars, me and my friend Janet, and she went again the next night. She loved it so much. I couldn't afford to, but
that's amazing.
Oh, it was so good.
And favourite TV shows, movies?
Okay, Home and Away. So we saw the season finale last night.
Home and Away tragic.
Gee, they finish early. It's only November. Come on. It used to go to December, I'm sure.
I think things went longer back in the day, and there's more episodes.
That's right. Yeah.
Sons and Daughters used to go.
Oh gosh, I never watched that. No, so I started watching Neighbours back in the day, and then Home and Away, and then I dropped Neighbours and continued Home and Away up until it must have been when I was doing uni, I reckon.
Okay, yes.
So I missed about 4 years or so. So I haven't seen that. Now I'm doing my craft work, I've been binge watching while I'm crafting. So I've done.
You've caught up.
I've done Prisoner.
Okay.
The original Prisoner.
Yes.
Binge watched Prisoner. It was awesome. I've binge watched A Country Practice.
Oh, yes.
Done the whole thing.
Yes.
Gone through the entire amount. I tried binge watching Home and Away back from first day. I got up to, I'm not sure where I got up to. Maybe it might have been around 1990, maybe.
Okay.
And couldn't find any more, or it skipped and went like years in advance. I thought, no, I don't want to. I want to watch it in order. So I kind of gave up finding it, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to do Neighbours then. So I started back at Neighbours. I'm not sure what year I'm up to now, but Jason Donovan's still in it. Kylie's gone. She's gone to Queensland. He went to Queensland. He's come back. Yeah, so I'm enjoying that at the moment. So I just watch it on my laptop. It's on YouTube, whereas Home and Away I had to get it on some other platform.
Yeah, 7+ or something.
No, they don't have it. They only go back a few years.
Yes.
Which is really annoying.
Right back to
so
the beginning.
I got it on Daily Motion, it's called.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's okay. I haven't been arrested.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. And also coming up to my next segment, family and friendships. Describe your friendships and how valuable they are to you.
I don't have a lot of friends. I've always had a very small group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Not a group as in they know each other. They don't even know each other.
Yes.
It's so annoying. I'd love to have that group of girls where you go out together, and I don't have that. Part of the problem with that for me has been in leaving school, my friends didn't stay in contact with me. I tried, but it was always me.
Yeah.
And when you sort of go, oh, you know what, I'm going to leave it and see what they do, and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, they obviously don't really like me. TAFE, I was only there for 2 years, and then I had so many different jobs, and I was friends with people older than me. I've always been the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
Same with when I had kids. I was always the youngest.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been a little bit hard. And then, mum's at school. When you move away, it's like they're like, well, out of sight, out of mind, I don't see you anymore, so I don't want to be your friend anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't pursue those kind of people. It's just all one-sided. Moving from Essendon to Endeavour Hills and then to Rowville, you lose the friends that you made there because you've moved far away. So I haven't sort of kept friends long-term. My closest friends now are fellow teachers. So, of course, Nettie, she's been amazing. She's been there for the whole horrible journey. And then my friend Deb, really close to her now, she is a CRT at where my kids went to school. And I think I must have met her first when I was doing my internship at Maranatha, and she was CRTing. We met, and I don't know how we ended up staying in touch, how that all sort of eventuated, but somehow it did. And we just always but the problem is, because we're all teachers, not so much for me because I'm teaching part-time in after school, so I do have a bit of time during the week, but they're teaching in school, so we tend to really only catch up properly in school holidays. There'll be the odd text, but not so much. And then my friend Louisa, I first met her at church, but she's a teacher, but I really only catch up with her in school holidays as well. So, and then, a couple of friends at church. Oh, my friend Denise, she's at church, but she's also a teacher.
Yeah.
She's a lot older than me, but we just really clicked right from the start. She's really lovely. She's a secondary teacher. Okay. I actually find she has a little bit more time than the primary teachers, interestingly. To me, that's kind of fair enough, I think, because with secondary, there's a lot of textbook work.
Yes.
Primary, everything's from scratch. You've got to be setting up and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, if you're an English teacher, secondary, there's a lot of marking, lots of essays and stuff. She's maths. She's head of faculty, so she's got a lot of extra duties. But maths, it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
Tick, tick, tick,
right or wrong.
That's right. And it doesn't really change, does it? So what you teach one year, you're going to be teaching the same thing the next year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. In terms of the curriculum.
They're good friends anyway.
My next one is life's turning points. Can you share a significant turning point or moment of realisation in your life?
Well, I think the teaching just put a big spanner in everything, and everything did not turn out the way I thought it was going to turn out. But now when I think about it, I think everything happens for a reason. Yeah. And being a Christian, I feel like that God leads me certain ways. And at the time I was like, God, what are you doing to me? I felt like you were giving me all these signs that I should do this, and now I shouldn't be doing it. What is going on? Right. But maybe he was leading me to where I am now at Reading Bees because I found that's my thing. And I always was really good at English, especially in primary school, with things like spelling and grammar and punctuation.
Yeah.
I guess, that did throw a big spanner in the works, and I didn't know what I was doing for quite a few years there. It was not nice.
Kind of a bit of a blindsided feeling that you've studied the degree, you've got a class, you've got your classroom, and it hasn't turned out to what you want it to be.
It was so, I can't tell you how disappointing it was. It was devastating.
Yeah.
And I loved being in there 9 to 3:30.
Yeah.
It was before 9 and after 3:30 that I couldn't cope with. I mean, yes, I had kids biting each other and all that sort of thing that I was having to deal with, and that was not fun. I didn't like that part, and having to see parents. I hate the parents. I don't like parents. Anyway, funny if we could do it without parents. It's scary. But yeah, the kids were great. I loved that part of it, and I wish that's all teaching was, but unfortunately it's not.
You're so vulnerable in that space because anyone can say anything about you to you, and you don't really have a lot of options. You're sitting ducks, really.
There's so many things that you're not allowed to say or do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have students now, when I'll be talking to another teacher and I go, oh my gosh, I want to tell the parents, can you get them tested? Because I'm sure they have got, whatever. But you can't. Like, what am I supposed to say? I don't know. We're not given any guidelines of things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are in schools, but we're not at where I am. But, sometimes if we have a discussion, I'll say to the parents, oh, have you ever had them, like, tested for any sort of learning thing, so I sort of try to test the waters like that a little bit. And if I feel like they don't know what they're doing, I'll just sort of say, look, why don't you go and have a chat to your doctor, because they might be able to point you in the right direction to a paediatrician or someone who can, do certain tests to see, is there anything going on like dyslexia or, anything like that. And I always say, I'm not an expert. Even though sometimes I think, it must be that. I can't say that at all. So I said, look, I'm not an expert by any means. It was just, one thing that popped into my head is maybe it's a possibility. I don't really know. But if you go and see a paediatrician, they can help you get that sorted out. And there might not be anything, but at least, you can have peace of mind and know what are we actually dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes it a bit hard. But
yeah, it's one of those things too in my role that I usually flag within the first 2 to 3 weeks if I have a concern, because it's such a short year really, an early intervention, if it's speech or OT or whatever it might be, if that started early and that we're coming from the child's perspective to the best outcome for that child would be early intervention in if we notice anything, and then we definitely refer off as early as possible. Yeah. Every motto.
Turning points. The other one, I guess, was that I can think of was probably becoming a Christian. I guess is a big change in your life, but it's not a sudden change. You don't suddenly become a different person overnight. You just forever. I mean, anyone is forever evolving as a human.
Yeah.
And I hope that I'm evolving as a better form of myself in trying to, be more like Jesus-like in being kind and caring and tolerant and all that sort of thing. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that was a turning point, but not I guess, an obvious one where you go, wow, that really changed my life all of a sudden, because it's not all of a sudden. It's just
a gradual
thing, but the teaching thing, bang, all of a sudden. Yeah.
I do remember you sharing your experience with me when that happened through Messenger on Facebook.
Oh, did I?
Oh, my gosh, that is just –
oh, no.
But it's definitely not easy, and like anything – people assume it is a certain way until you're in it. And so my week is 38 hours, but I'm paid 24 and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm a part-time teacher.
Yeah.
I'm doing full-time hours because I cannot get the admin done that needs to be done from a compliance point of view, from many points of view. There's so much admin. It's
well, when I was resigning,
it becomes less about the children and more about the compliance and admin.
Oh, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Well, I remember when I'd resigned and they said to me, Tell us what we can do without doing the work for you. Well, I'm sorry, unless you can do my work for me or take it away, there's nothing you can do, because you're expecting me to do this stuff in the amount of time I've got. I can't. I mean, I'm doing it, but the reason I'm doing it is because I'm sleeping 3 hours a night.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm looking like this now? I mean, they probably didn't notice because they're seeing me every single day, but I must have looked like death warmed up. But like in the classroom, I was happy as Larry, like I am now, bubbly, da-da-da-da. And then I'd go home and fall into a heap and cry in front of my kids uncontrollably. I just could not cope with life.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. I hear you.
But in hindsight, I now wish I had have reached out to friends who were teachers. I didn't have many teacher friends apart from who I was working with at that time. I've met them later. But I had a friend who I did my internship with at Maranatha, and she knew how awful. In fact, she went for the job too. She had her job interview right before me. She came out and then I went in.
Yeah.
And she didn't tell me until later, when I fell in a heap, that when she came out of that interview and she was saying, you got this, Catherine, she went out going, oh, my gosh, poor Catherine. She was like, oh, no way. And I'm the one who got the job.
Yeah, right.
Because she was pushing for part-time, because she can't, it's hard to cope full-time.
Yeah.
She was pushing for part-time and they didn't want to know about it. But, I should have reached out to friends and said, I'm not coping. What can I not do? Because, you're told all the things you have to do. And I've met teachers since that I go, oh, I can't be bothered with that, I'm like, what? How do you know that that's okay not to do that? I'm going to get the sack if I don't do that, aren't I?
Yeah.
Like, how did you figure that out?
Yeah.
It's just so hard. So I should have reached out to people. Maybe I could have made it through if I told some friends that, who were teachers, I'm just not, no, what can I do? Tell me what I should do.
Yeah.
How do I get through this? And maybe if I made it to the end of the year and then now I know what I'm doing, and if I've got prep again next year, it's okay, I did this last year, I'm good now.
Yeah, that's right.
But I just –
the 1 year, but you had to make a choice though, I think.
I don't know why I didn't reach out. That. I regret that.
It's so tricky. It is so tricky. My next segment is a little bit lighter, so it's called Curious Corner, where I ask random questions about our guests. Can you recall a time where you just couldn't stop laughing about something?
I am a 12-year-old boy disguised in a 52-year-old woman's body. I love a good poo and fart joke.
Oh,
right?
yes.
I love the movie Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, yes.
Do you know
Best.
the one when he goes to the ladies' toilet and he has diarrhea because the other guy put laxatives in his drink?
Oh, American Pie. Yes.
No. Oh, it's Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. Oh, yes. In the cafe.
Lloyd, I think, because Lloyd. No, which one's Lloyd? Is it Jim Carrey? Is he Lloyd?
Yes. So Harry.
Well, the Jim Carrey.
Harry.
Harry's
is
the
other
Harry.
guy.
Harry, right?
Yes.
Harry. So Lloyd had put laxative into Harry's drink because he found out that Harry was going on a date with the girl of his dreams, right? So when he goes to her house, he uses her toilet.
It's not.
I just can't stop laughing. Of course, then she calls through him, don't use the toilet because it's broken. He can't flush it. I just can't stop laughing when I say that because it's a good poo joke.
It's both the first and second one, they're just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Doesn't he end up putting it out the window? Because he just picks up the whole toilet and puts
I
it
can't
out the window?
remember what he did now. I need to watch it again.
I don't know what to do with this. But,
can't remember. But just the action of him going through the motions on the toilet is enough to send me into fits of laughter.
Good. Yes. His the wincing and everything.
Yeah,
when he's on the toilet.
and then all of a sudden
very unwell. Yes. My next one is name 5 people you would invite for dinner and why.
Oh, I knew you'd ask me this and I've got no idea.
A lot of people get stuck. It doesn't have to be 5. It can just be people that you wouldn't mind having a chat to that you might not get an opportunity to meet normally.
Princess Diana.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love her
Big fan of Princess Diana. In fact, I think it was, and this is so stupid because absolutely not, but I think it was Amanda who said to me in primary school when she was still Lady Diana, you look like Lady Diana.
Oh, yeah.
I was the other kid. I did not.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Potentially,
really?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take that because she was gorgeous, but no, I can't see it at all. But anyway, I'd invite her. Maybe someone like Michelle Obama or someone.
Oh, yeah.
A lady in power who the power hasn't gone to her head sort of thing. Like down to earth, but someone I'd really respect, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe Oprah.
Oh, yes.
She'd be cool.
I love Oprah.
She would have a lot of good stories to tell. Are there any men? I can't think of any more.
Yeah.
Does it have to be 5?
Doesn't have to be 5.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be 5.
I'll stick with those. If I think of any more, I'll tell you.
My next one is if you could choose one song to play every time you walked into a room, what would you choose?
And I know I'm not allowed to choose Take On Me because apparently Amanda has that one. Because I was going to choose that because that was my song.
Yes, Mandy, yes.
Because, and I was going to marry Morton Harker. Oh, my gosh, he was so gorgeous.
Have you seen them in concert before?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we saw them at a day on the green at Rochford. They were incredible. The only issue was that they sung Take On Me first. I was yeah. But they're amazing.
Did you hear he's got Parkinson's?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
horrible.
Sad. Yeah.
Really horrible. Yeah, I've seen him talking online about it.
Sorry, what was the question? Oh, my song.
Yes.
My song. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'm going to go with a Roxette song. This is really funny. It's not my favourite song or anything, but just as a bit of fun. The Look.
Oh, The Look.
She's got the look.
Absolutely.
Let's go with that one.
Roxette are amazing too. I've seen them in concert.
I saw them in concert a few years before she passed. My brother and I went to their concert a few years ago. Oh, it was so good. It's probably one of my best concerts.
He's really entertaining. Like I can't think of his name now.
Pierre?
Yeah, he is so... Yeah, really entertaining. Really entertaining.
And is she Marie or Mari? Which?
Marie.
Marie, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because she had the brain tumour and then she was okay and then she was.
I know.
Yeah, but I loved that. Went with my brother. I didn't even know my brother liked Roxette. But we had such good seats. We weren't too far from the stage.
Yep.
We were up and to the side a bit. So I feel like because we were to the side, it makes you closer.
You are closer.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So it was really good. And she waved at us at one point and I'm going,
so good. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So, signature dish to cook?
I don't have one because, and I don't know if this is because, but mealtime at our house has been pretty bad.
Oh, with allergies and things.
Well, the allergies started it.
Yes.
So I and I try to cook so that we're all eating the same thing.
Yes.
So Connor's has all his allergies. He doesn't have all of them now, but he still has most of them. So he used to be, when he was little, it was peanuts, nuts. So peanuts aren't nuts, they're legumes. So a lot of people don't know that. Just clarifying. Peanuts and nuts. Fish, eggs, they were the main ones.
Okay.
He didn't grow out of eggs until he was 12.
Wow.
Usually it's 6.
Okay.
So I couldn't be having quiches or anything like that. Nuts seems to have gotten less when he's had his testing, so it doesn't look like they'd be anaphylaxis. Peanuts is, fish is, so they're bad.
Yeah.
But now he's also allergic to, I discovered when he was in year 6, I think it was, because his eczema got really bad again then, rice and potatoes.
Oh, geez.
They exacerbate his eczema. So if he's got eczema, don't eat those.
Starch.
I just haven't been feeding him those anyway. Now he's older, he's a bit more riskier with his diet than I ever was. As a mum, I just wanted to make sure I got him through to adulthood.
Right.
He's here. He's there. I got him there. I did my job.
Yeah.
So he now will, when he gets KFC or something, he'll buy the chips and he'll eat the chips. He'll go, I'm fine. Oh, can't eat it. No, I'm fine. I can do what I want. So, yeah, so that's okay. But he seems to be mostly okay. Now, but then in Liz's teenage years, she became vegetarian.
Okay.
So I think I was.
You can't win there.
No. So it was starting to get difficult because I was still having to worry about the allergies.
Yeah.
But then I was having to worry about no cross-contaminating with meat because Steve and Connor wanted their meat. I'm quite happy to be a vegetarian. I don't care either way.
Yes.
I said to her, as long as you don't become vegan.
Yeah.
If you're going to become vegan, after you've left home, she goes, yeah, don't worry, I'll wait till I've left home.
Yeah.
She didn't wait.
Oh.
She became vegan.
Oh, Jodie.
I know that's real. I know, a friend, it is really challenging.
It is very hard. I have about 4 different things that I can feed her. Luckily, she was only vegan at our house maybe for a couple of years because she left when when she turned 21, she bought herself her own apartment.
Oh, yes.
That was her birthday present to herself, I guess. So... Yeah,
so your signature dish to cook would be a tricky one then. Like
I don't really have one.
No.
Because honestly, what I cook isn't that great. Because you try cooking vegan, it's not great.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go with a dessert then because I have a couple of signature desserts. It's my cheesecakes. I make the best cheesecakes in the world. I do not like using gelatin because it comes from animal bones or something. That's just gross to me. So I make cheesecakes that don't use it. So my lemon cheesecake uses the lemon juice as the setting agent. Yeah, so it's that with condensed milk and all that. It is magic. And my Toblerone cheesecake.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's to die for. So, yes, both those. So every Christmas you'll get one of those. Usually it's the lemon one because then I can put the fruits on the top too.
Oh, yeah.
It goes nicely with it.
Yum. Well, my next one, as I've injured myself so many times over the years, I'm more curious about other people's injuries. Tell us about a time where you've accidentally injured yourself.
Well, I just did something last week.
Oh, no.
Actually, I'm due to take this off. Do you want to see?
Oh, gosh. So what did you do?
I burnt myself.
Oh, no.
On the oven rack.
Oh,
and
no.
You know on the corner how it goes up and up. So I've got an S-shaped burn mark.
Oh, no. You put your arm straight in or?
Oh, this is sticking a bit. I'm not sure how I did it. This is so bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's like a second
degree. It looks like a tattoo.
Burn. I just bumped my head on the microphone. I hope that didn't sort of.
That's all good.
Yeah, I need to redo that. That's
wow.
I went to the chemist actually a couple of days later and said, "Look, are you going to tell me to go to the doctor, or is there something I can put on this?" She goes, "Oh, yeah, maybe just keep your eye on it over the next." So you put
it on the side. Like when the tray came out.
I've reached in for something and I've touched the front corner. So now I've got this S shape on my arm.
Goodness gracious.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's one thing I've done recently. I was telling you earlier how when I was waiting for my brother outside school, back in the day, we didn't have softball on the playground. We had stones. So I'm waiting for my brother hanging upside down the monkey bars and fall off and slam my face into the stones and blood was just pouring out everywhere. Did that. When I was volunteering as a Kids Hope mentor at Rowville Primary School for a year, and I would go and visit this boy in Year 6. His mum had died a few months earlier and was struggling a bit and was living with his auntie and uncle down in Frankston, was having to commute to Rowville every day, he and his brother. So I'd go once a week and spend an hour with him doing whatever he wanted to do, and he loved shooting hoops.
Oh, yeah.
So here's me in my 40s. So I'm out there shooting hoops with this kid, and I'm running and dribbling like you do. Something felt really bad in my hip, and I didn't want to make a thing about it because all I could think of was he's going to think I'm some stupid old woman.
Oh, no.
So I didn't say anything about it, so I was just sort of gritting my teeth, hobbling through. And anyway, I'd forgotten about it afterwards because the pain had gone. I completely forgot about it. Months later, I'm lying in bed reading. I was lying on my back, and I dropped my left hip out to my left knee out to the side, and the searing pain in my hip. Oh my gosh, I realised I couldn't rotate my hip. So after a while of having this pain, I went to the doctor and ended up getting scans, and I think I must have had an MRI, and they found a tear in the cartilage, in the labrum of the cartilage.
Oh, my goodness.
And I got surgery, keyhole surgery, and I was on crutches for 3 weeks. I had to have 7 months of physio. And what I didn't know, they didn't tell me, is that often the surgery is only good for about 10 years because 10 years almost to the day, deja vu, I felt that pain. I thought, oh, my gosh, that's familiar. What's going on here? And I thought, heck. So I started Googling, because you could Google now. Back then you couldn't really Google. Oh, we did Google, not so much. After having your torn labrum fixed, can it come back? Yes, it will do it again.
Oh, my gosh.
And I thought, well, I'm not having surgery again, so I'm just trying to live with it. So the physio exercises I had at the time, I've done them ever since, all the way through. At the time I was told I wouldn't have to do them for the rest of my life, but I think I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
So I'll be just going for a walk and all of a sudden, pain, and I'm limping home. And then a few days later, I'm good again. It's strange.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
That's a doozy. That is a real doozy.
Not great.
Now, my next one is the hall pass question.
Oh, gosh.
Now, if you were going to spend a night with someone other than Steve, who would it be?
Well, first of all, I would never do that.
Yes.
But if I was
hypothetically,
it would have to be either
our friend from AHA. No.
Morton Harkett from AHA, but the 1980s version.
Yes.
Oh, right. Or the Pearl Harbor version of Josh Hartnett.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you're experiencing that, yes.
Yes, Josh Hartnett, yes. Gosh, because he was in something recently.
But he's not looking as good now because he's a bit long. Well, I'm not sure right now, but recently, a bit long hair. Sort of not. But I like the short hair, clean cut.
Yes.
Yeah. So either of those.
He was in a cop style movie with Harrison Ford many years ago.
He was. It was. I can't
think what it was called.
We used to have the show with Johnny Depp, and they made a movie out of it. 21 Jump Street.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So good.
Yeah.
Well, my last segment is legacy and reflections. What are you most proud of in your life?
Having my kids and raising my kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very proud of them. They haven't gone in the directions that we expected.
Yes. Do they ever?
Especially Liz. She was a real surprise because she was always very artistic, painting everything. Right from primary school, we thought, she's going to be an artist. And then in high school, she was very brainy in the maths. She did specialist maths methods. She did chemistry, physics, biology, the lot.
Yeah.
And then she got a 97 ATAR and got offered a scholarship in the double degree for science and engineering at Swinburne.
Wow.
So she went there and the whole first year was just engineering subjects and she hated it.
Oh, no.
And she had a part-time job at a cafe. So she decided she was going to drop out and work at the cafe. And I said, no. I said, just defer the year. Just take the next year off, work at the cafe. And here's me thinking, because she's so intelligent, she's going to crave the learning. She'll want to go back.
Yes.
She'll get so bored working in a cafe. Well, no, that backfired on me. She loved it so much that she just quit uni, stayed at the cafe. Now she's a manager. She's been there ever since. It's the only job she's ever had.
Yes.
She loves it.
Oh, my gosh.
She absolutely loves it. And if she hadn't have done that, she wouldn't have been able to buy her own apartment.
Yeah.
I mean, she's only a casual employee and doesn't work 40 hours a week or anything, but the bank was still able to let her borrow.
How
and
awesome is that?
Bought an apartment at barely 21 years old.
Yeah.
Moved out between lockdowns 1 and 2. Couldn't see her anymore.
Oh, no. Yes.
We had video dinners with her. So she completely went down a different path. I thought she was either going to be a scientist finding the cure for cancer or an artist. No. And Connor, when he was little, because we built our house and it was all dirt and there was trucks and everything everywhere, I'd take him for a walk down the street and they'd leave the trucks there overnight. And there was those massive dump trucks with the huge wheels and stuff. And we'd go down and he'd point and he'd go, "Fruck, fruck." He's a truck. And I'd look at people and go, "It's okay, he said truck. It's all right. He's saying truck, he's not swearing." And we'd put him up on these big wheels and he'd stand there chuffed as anything.
Yes.
We thought, he's going to be a truck driver. and then throughout high school, he was obsessed with science and space.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, my gosh, he's going to be an astronaut. He's going to, he's going to move to America and go to NASA. No, we don't want that. Or maybe Canberra and there's a science program there or whatever. And he even got a $500 prize from the Defence Force for some science thing he did at school as like an incentive for him to join the ADF.
Yes.
Which, of course, he wasn't interested at all. And then he started discovering music and whenever I mentioned about him being a teacher, he's like, because, kids don't want to do what you do. Well, now he wants to be a music teacher.
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing. And it's funny the paths that they choose and where you think they're going.
Yeah. Because he started in a science degree at Monash Uni and did 2 years and did a few subjects, electives in music and thought, hang on, I'm going that way now.
Funny. How funny.
Yeah, because I thought he might find the cure for eczema or something or for allergies, being a scientist. But no,
it's tuning.
No, he wants to play music.
Gone a different direction.
Yeah, but so proud. He's so good.
Is there anything in your life you regret?
Well, as I said, I do. When I think about it, I regret not reaching out for help properly when I was struggling as a teacher.
Yeah.
Left it too long. I needed help right from this.
Yeah.
Or at least within the first month.
Yeah.
I realised where this is going.
What am I doing? Yeah.
Yeah. What about other regrets? I guess in a way I regret not pursuing teaching back when most people do.
Yep.
When I would have if I hadn't have come across that teacher in the staff room.
Yeah.
Because if I had have done it back then, teaching wasn't like it is now back then, and I would have done it when I was still living at home. So I come home and dinner's on the table for me. The washing's done, the house is clean. I have no kids to look after. No, I'm not taking anyone to school. I just had myself to worry about, and it is a lot different doing it then than trying to do it as an older student. Going to uni was easier because I could do it online and I was more dedicated to it, and I just felt like I don't know, life experience, I could just do it better.
Yeah.
But trying to start a whole new career and one like teaching as an older person, so much harder than doing it when you're living at home with your parents.
Yeah, everything's done for you.
So I regret that I didn't do it then. But if I had done that, I wouldn't have met my husband. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
My last one is, when you look back on your life, what do you hope to be remembered for?
I think I'd like to be remembered as a good mum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, for me that's the most important thing in my life. It's funny, once I'd become a mum and done that and the kids grew up, and I thought to myself, I have no more goals in life. That was my goal, to have kids and be a mum, and I've done it. So what is out there for me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so that to me is the most important thing I've done in my life. So I want to be remembered as that I did a good job. I think I did a good job. I mean, of course, there's things I would do differently if I went back again, but there's no rule book.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't have a coach. You're thrown into it. You do the best you can at the time.
Yeah.
But given all the different circumstances I had, I think I did a good job. And I was fortunate that I was able to be a stay-at-home mum for so long.
Yes.
But we just went without so many things. We didn't have a big screen TV and, had old couches and, all sorts of things. And I'd like to be remembered, I guess, as a kind person.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I don't make people feel bad about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's very good. Well, that is it. You can relax.
I wasn't even nervous.
I cannot wait to upload this bad boy. As I say, thank you so much for joining me today. And it has been very, very nice catching up and reminiscing. And gee, aren't our memories good for all those names? I think they're extraordinary.
I can't believe the things we can remember from primary school.
Thank you.
It's been a blast. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much to Catherine for such an engaging chat that I had with her. I also want to thank her for her honesty in disclosing her mental health challenges. When we talk about these challenges freely, as Catherine has done, this definitely supports healing. On a much lighter note, I want to give Kitty Candy Creations a shout out. Catherine brought along some recent creations to our recording and very kindly gifted me a beautiful crocheted bookmark. So check out Kitty Candy Creations on Instagram and Facebook. You can order her gorgeous creations from madeit.com.au/kittycandycreations. Lastly, let's give a shout out to Catherine's Hall Pass, the 1980s version of Morton Harkett, and also Josh Hartnett. Tune in to our next episode where we get to hear more lives worth telling. Don't forget to check out and follow us on your socials. And if you love what you hear, please rate and review us on your favourite podcast app. Of course, if you have any questions, you can get in touch with us through the Facebook page or Instagram. If you or a friend or a family member would like to come on the show, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. And if you want to grab yourself some merch, jump onto Redbubble to check out our products. Thanks for listening to Lives Worth Telling. See you next time.